Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. We're seeing North American stock futures back in positive territory once again this morning, catching a little bit of positive sentiment on more possible COVID-19 vaccine-related news. Both Pfizer and BioNTech jointly working together on a possible vaccine being granted FDA fast-track designation for their work on their vaccine. More on that coming up. We'll have a look at both Pfizer and BNTX coming up this morning as well. Big time moves into positive territory. The news helping investors in general kind of overlook continued spiking COVID-19 cases throughout the U.S. and around the globe in general. The U.S. has now reported 60,000 plus cases in 3 straight consecutive days, bringing the total in the U.S. to more than 3 million cases, according to data from Johns Hopkins University. Individually this morning, vaccine-related companies moving, including Pfizer and BNTX, as we mentioned. Altimmune, also big move to the upside. Positive preclinical data on their possible vaccine candidate that Altimmune is working on. We're also looking at travel-related names set to benefit, obviously, from a vaccine coming. The airlines, the cruise lines, all higher to the upside. Some of the hotels moving around this morning as well. And electric vehicle companies, Fisker finally getting that deal done with Spartan Energy. Looks like that is going to take place. So we'll talk about that coming up. Lots to get to. It's Monday, July 13th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. And there's a look at Asian markets from the overnight session. Yeah, pretty flat here right across the board. You can see Shanghai did end the day in negative territory. Japan leading the way to the upside, more than 2%. Nice day there. Let's go over to Europe and see how things are looking so far. Positive momentum here right across the board. Pretty much 1+% top to bottom. We'll shift over to North America and see how things are shaping up so far. S&P 500, 0.7%. The Dow now around that same 0.7% mark. The NASDAQ leading the way about 1% to the upside. TSX futures, not quite as big of a move, but 0.2%. Forecasted here on the future side of things for the TSX in Toronto. Brazil's open, trading higher. We have Bitcoin to the upside. Crude's lower. There's an OPEC meeting coming up. We have gold to the upside this morning as well, about 0.5% for gold. Good morning, guys. Busy morning already. Lots of stuff moving around in the pre-market, including Pfizer and BioNTech, BNTX shares. We've talked about this story over and over again. FDA fast-track approval essentially means they're going to be put to the top of the list if, in fact, they come up with something that needs to be approved as far as a vaccine is concerned.
Yeah, and ramping up that production as well. Like, it's going to be, obviously, you're seeing the travel stocks moving to the upside and the reopening stocks as well. You talk about Disney opening the park finally. They got stormtroopers enforcing the mask policies that they got going on. So a little bit of fun there. The real story, I think, is these SPACs here, Brendan. You have a couple of them here, of course, with Fisker getting done, but you also have, I believe it's called I want to say, what's the name of this company? Multiplan. I wasn't too familiar with them, but they also are going, launching with a special acquisition company, and it's going to be Churchill Capital, so $11 billion deal there. Seems like it's going to be all the rage, and lots of gappers this morning. Sean, looks like another good week here.
Yeah, it should always be. It'll be another good day for sure. I mean, look, every week that we're able to trade should be a good week. And yeah, today's another one. And yeah, I'm pretty happy. I bought SPAC in my own account last week, so able to watch that. I don't know. I got to watch to see what happens. I don't know enough about these things, but hopefully it goes to the moon here. So that's going to be a good one. Yeah, Pfizer on watch. Tesla, what a great, took $50 plus winner on Friday on Tesla. And we'll hope to do, I don't know, maybe the same today, but that broke through 1,600, 1,650 right now. Wow, nothing can stop that one, Brendan.
Yeah, Spartan Energy special acquisition company. So Spartan Energy Acquisition Corporation getting the deal done with Fisker. So that's the big news this morning. We'll look at SPAQ. Yeah, that other one as well, CCXX. is this symbol for Churchill Capital. So yeah, Multiplan Incorporated doing the same thing. So we'll talk about that. Lots to get to. Let's have a look at what's coming up later in the show this morning. We have a brand new educational video for you. Day trading risk management, how to avoid getting shaken out of a trade. This is another topic that was actually requested by one of the viewers. So we did a whole entire segment on how to not get shaken out of a trade, something that will happen to you on a daily basis or thereabouts anyways. We still get shaken out of trades all the time. So it's something you have to deal with on an ongoing basis. Having the tools to be able to deal with that is what is key. Let's head over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning and hello everyone. I hope you had a great weekend and ready for a productive trading week. Guys, sign up to our daily free watch list at the link I'm sending on the chat and subscribe to this channel to receive notifications when we are back on air. Please like this video and show your support. I'll see you later. Let's get it started and back to Brandon.
Yeah, if you haven't done that, sign up for the watch list, guys. You can follow along with us as we look at everything that's moving around in the pre-market between 9 a.m. Eastern and 9:30. Before we do that, let's have a look at how traders did here at Day Trade the World back on Friday. Another great day here. We had U.S. markets leading the way. Top 10 traders here at Day Trade the World. U.S. markets leading the way, $12,000. NASDAQ, again, and New York, $11,000. You can see pretty much 5 figures top to bottom. Got to go all the way down to number 4 today before we get to Europe. They're usually in there around that area. Number 6 as well, some European markets coming in there with 10,000. So another great day for traders here at Day Trade the World back on Friday. Let's jump into individual symbols here. We have a lot of them to look at this morning, guys. We'll start with Pfizer, obviously the big vaccine related news this morning, along with German partner BioNTech. So BNTX, the symbol for BioNTech being granted U.S. FDA fast track designation on their vaccine candidates, plural. They're working on more than one for a possible COVID-19 vaccine. Again, that just means that when they are ready, they'll be kind of put to the top of the list for the FDA to have a look at their potential vaccine for COVID-19, guys. So here we go again with Pfizer and BNTX.
Yeah, Pfizer inching up today. It's up 3%, but you look at the daily chart, you'll sort of see the lackadaisical secondary move it's had when it broke 33, still sitting below this 50 period. And then you had this 35. It's actually not 35 even, but you kind of look up here at the last week and a half, and it's about 35.10 is a bit of a top. So resistance through 35 to 35.10. I think that'll be an interesting breakout price. Although the way Pfizer is typically traded, we're probably going to be having opportunity to sell in front of that, at least today. It's not always the most volatile stock in terms of price movement. If you get 50, 60 cents, that's actually a great trade on a Pfizer. So I'd look to see if we can't fade that 35 potential break at some point this week through 35.10. And then you're looking to maybe buy some dips into 34 where there was a double top late last week.
Yeah, I'd rather take probably BNTX if it breaks through $79 here. Just again, it's listed on the NASDAQ, like Neil said. Pfizer is just like a sleepy stock. I mean, it has a 4.5% dividend yield. It just doesn't move too much. But BNTX should be able to go. I mean, if you look at a daily chart here, and again, I'm not even really sure exactly the deal that these two have together. But we were up here last time, 79.50. It looks like it wants to break through. So I'd much rather play this if you're looking for, again, like a little bit of a bigger move. I think BNTX through 79.50 is probably the better play here. But Pfizer is consistent. So if you want to use more shares, then go ahead and use Pfizer. But BNTX here looks like it could be the breakout. I mean, and this is sort of what happened when they were announced that they were working on a deal. Now it's come all the way back down. So it has legs to get over $100, and it's only at 77 right now. So I do like this play. If you think that this may be the one, then hey, BNTX 79.50, I think that's your play.
All right, guys, we're going to get to the electric vehicle group, but I did want to mention Workhorse didn't make it onto our list this morning because it was actually opening lower with no significant news until a little bit later on in the morning. So there was a little bit of a story, guys. We could go to my screen here, and I will get this up for everyone. There we go. Yeah, Workhorse C-Series all-electric delivery truck awarded executive order from the state of California on Air Resources Board. So it's just a pollution certificate basically from the state of California. The company now becomes the first to be certified both nationally and also by the state of California for their electric vehicle delivery truck. So you saw that big move up in workhorse shares. So that was the reason behind that. Let's go to Altimmune. Altimmune, this was, I think, known last week. There was a huge move up, 2-day move up to end last week ahead of data that was released over the weekend on a preclinical trial that they were doing on their vaccine candidate for COVID-19. That data did come out positive. Now they're saying they're going to advance to human trials in Q4, guys. ALT moving around.
Yeah, someone always seems to know something. You did see that move off of support at 16 and then again at 18, and now you're getting a big time gap up, which it's filled almost all of this. If you look at this pre-market move, yeah, we traded up to 35 on relatively light volume here. It's already pulling back into the highs of last week. That's about 24.67, so call it about 25. If we do get to that range, you could expect to see a little bit of solidarity at that level, some support that might jump in. I'm looking at 29.25. That's going to be the first level that maybe we can get a secondary break on ALT. Otherwise, you're fading in front of it or buying in front of what I hope would be some consolidation at 24.67, 25 even ALT. So because it's already pulled back so far, not really looking for that immediate short retracement play because too much of the gap has already been filled in ALT.
I did want to talk, if you did like workhorse here, 17, Brennan just mentioned it quickly there, and I tweeted it out, but 17.03 here, basically 17 even. There was a little bit here of a stop break there once it was coming down, closes the day at 17, reopens that next day there, and closes again 16.50. So there is some resistance there. I posted that if you do like workhorse, then yeah, I mean, we've seen it blown off the top numerous times here today, and at 18.25 is that top today. So if you did like workhorse, I wouldn't touch it right yet. Not really sure, like you mentioned there, Brendan, the all clear there on the clean energy. So we'll see. I mean, it definitely is a big step, but I guess that's something that was probably expected. So up 15% seems like a lot, but hey, guys, if it gets excited enough, 18.25 coming up.
I think the significance there, Sean, was they're the first company to receive both national and statewide approval from these boards. So definitely positive on that note. Anyways, let's go to NEO, guys. NIO, the move to the upside doesn't quit, apparently. We're back higher again, although not tremendously this morning, but 10-cent Holdings coming out saying they've increased their stake in NIO from 15.1% to 16.3%. If you remember back a month and a half, 2 months ago, they initially came out and revealed that they had that 15.1% stake. So they've been, I guess, accumulating a little bit more over the past month or so, guys.
Yeah. I mean, when the Chinese government has your back and refuses to lay off, and again, they're not going to let Tesla beat them to this. I mean, Tesla already beat them to it, but they're not going to be the only car company around. So NEO getting into the foray here, and you can see, look at this, beat $3. They came out with nice earnings. They delivered more cars than usual, and in the last week and a half or so, it's been nothing but upside. I mean, Tesla's been up 50% in the last, I think it was 10 trading days or something like that. So no surprise to see this one running up nearly a double in that same time frame. So are we overdone? Yeah, probably. But again, it's just a momentum thing. 6.8 million shares today. You had VWAP right here at 15.25. I mean, that's a good possibility to break. 15.36 right here. I kind of like that. Bounce there. Then bounces off of it again. Let's just check the imbalance locator quickly. It was a big bid, and here it still is a big bid. So NIO right now. And again, I get a lot of questions on this, what this imbalance locator is. And again, we're lucky enough that right here on our P Pro 8 trading platform from Day Trade the World, we have it right here. It's just an imbalance locator. It's this little guy right here. So what this will give you is the opportunity to see the market on open orders. I just have the mark down here for New York. Tends to be more significant than NASDAQ, at least when you look at a level 2 here. And then what you can see here is SPAC. We're going to get to that in a minute. Pfizer, CCL, we'll also get to that. I saw JP Morgan. There it is. Yeah, so a big bid coming in from the banks today. But NIO right now, 1.5 million bid. So I just wanted to show that again, in 15.35 to the top side.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it from last week, that was a bit of a nice little area, 15.30 or so, and then you get that pivot through Friday. So I kind of like this one. If we can test that 16 even at some point this week, it gives you a breakout trade. In between 30 and 60 is where it's going to be tricky. Below that 30 area, I think is going to be an interesting selling opportunity for us here. So I got the same look at levels on that, with the exception of a potential break that I'm not sure will come into play soon at 16 even. That might be for later on in the week.
As let's go to Tesla, where we'll continue in the EV space here. Tesla back to the upside, all-time highs again this morning. They announced that they're going to cut the price of the Model Y by $3,000. That comes just 4 months after the car's launch, and that has to do with lack of demand. They're pointing towards, obviously, the COVID-19 pandemic. So, yeah, they cut the price of their car, and all-time highs again today, guys.
Yeah, so we can just go over here. I mean, I had it on. We're putting it all on Friday afternoon on my Twitter account here. First, we went long 14.20 on Tesla. Then we got some out for $5 and the rest out up here. I don't know what it was, 30, 40 bucks. Then we posted again that it was going to 14.80. Here we go. We still had this long side going to the upside. Then I wanted to throw up because we got out our 14.22s at 14.69. That kind of maybe looks a little bit like Brendan there. And then this is what we were doing the rest of the afternoon. We were getting in and out a couple more times. We did go long through 1,500. That was a nice little ripper as well. So yeah, we were trading Tesla like crazy. Follow me on Twitter. 4,500. Maybe we can get 4,500 viewers today. But Tesla, guys, look, 1650. I just wrote down 1655. It's probably already broke that. That was the high right here. There's absolutely no levels to look at when you look at Tesla because we're up so god darn high. What I wanted to show you guys was, though, this is the kind of way you have to trade Tesla, in my opinion, anyways. You sort of got to wait for this to happen. So here's the open on Friday. You opened up 1,400. Haha, 1,400, that's funny. Dropped all the way down $25. Basically, this is, remember, the same day that we closed at 1550. So 1378 low. We make that low again, then we break. So you sort of got to wait for some consolidation in order for Tesla to take off. But right now, if you go forward here, guys, it's kind of doing the same thing right now. It's consolidating. This is what it does every pre-market. So you got to wait for it. And then 1655. Take it early? I don't know. I'd rather let it settle down, see if people take profits back down here, 1634. That's the bottom of the day. Tesla, the strategy is going to remain the same. I trade this much better in the afternoon than we do in the morning. But if it does make some sort of a bottom, then we have to pick it up. I just hope I'm able to watch it. So I want you viewers to start posting us on the chat here if and when Tesla makes that move down so we can pick some up.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I think over and over again throughout the show, even without having traded it while we're live on Friday, it was 14.20, 14.20. We left you with 14.20. And the only play other than that is that little dip buy opportunity. I think the opening breaks have been very, very tricky on Tesla. So if it pulls in, holds 1600, that could be a nice little area to buy if you want to be an early rider there. I feel like that 1655 might not actually be the price in the event of an afternoon break, just simply because it's already going right now. So I'm not even sure that's going to last the next 10 minutes.
All right, guys, let's go to Fisker / Spartan Energy because, yeah, it's official. Fisker going to go public through another special acquisition, $2.9 billion deal with this Spartan Energy acquisition company who is backed by Apollo Group Management, worth mentioning. Again, the IPO, $2.9 billion. This was speculation last week. They've come out over the weekend and confirmed that, yes, this is going to happen. So SPAQ, 20% today to the upside, guys. We're already at $20. We were surprised at 17 last week.
Yeah, no, that's where I went long. Actually, I went long on Friday morning, I think it was. Again, in my investment account, we have to say that every trade that we take here on Trader TV needs to be closed at the end of the day. But I finally took something like this long in my own account. I think it was 1650, 17, whatever it was, and now we're upside. So nice to see that deal get done. I have no idea to get out, to get in, to get back in. Who knows anything? So we'll just have to play the momentum here, 5.6 million shares. So a nice little investment opportunity here, I think. We saw VTIQ with Nikola. Now you have Fisker. Different energies, hydrogen, natural gas, oil, all these different options here for electric vehicles, I guess, coming through. Well, that would be electric, but a lot of different opportunities. Fisker apparently solid, and we'll just see where this one wants to run. I mean, I think it's profit-taking time for many, but we'll see. These valuations are crazy. You saw Nikola rip all the way to $90 on its third or fourth day after being public. So we'll see when this changes over to Fisker, then we'll see what happens. And again, you know what? This SPAC stuff really, like, I don't really know why they just don't IPO Fisker, but I need to find out a little bit more about why doing like a merger like this is beneficial. I know there are some obvious advantages to that. The market's already here, but not really sure. So we'll play the momentum to the upside. Definitely not shorting anything like this.
Yeah, there's some regulatory advantages that certainly come with it. I'm just going to jump over there. I mean, you got SPAC sort of already handled there, Sean. So we'll talk a little bit about CCQXX, sorry, that's Churchill Capital. It's another one of these special acquisition companies. They're merging with Multiplan, merging with them. This is going to be the biggest one, I think, by actual notional, $11 billion. Check that. So gap up right here in Churchill of about 18%. You are seeing a lot of consolidation in and around about 1275, 1280, looking for a break at about 13. It's done 5 million in volume. It's interesting to me that there's so much heavy consolidation and trading in a very, very tight range on this one. So it feels like it's going to be a little bit more stable, but I'm looking at 13 break on CCXX. So yet another one of these sparks, Brendan.
As we'll have a look at the travel group here, moving higher this morning. The airlines, the cruise lines, some of the hotels also in positive territory following the Pfizer and BioNTech news with the vaccine possibly coming within the next 6 months or so. So this group obviously going to benefit from some sort of solution or resolution to the pandemic the most. CCL, worth noting, they also said they were going to sell 13 of their cruise ships, just kind of trimming some costs and working at a lower end projection as far as costs are concerned. They also said that it was Wedbush that came out and lowered their price target on CCL. What was it? $20 from $29. So Wedbush lowering price target on CCL to 20 from 29, guys.
Hey, thank you, Joseph Mendoza. Yeah, a lot of viewers, not enough likes. Let's see if we can get that, and you'll get a little Valeria Floss action there if you get to 1,000 likes. But 1,000 likes is pretty easy. Our record is 2,000. We would like to see that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hopefully, we have a new subscribe animation for you guys. We had a scary cat before, but I know that the guys are working on that, so hopefully that can come today. If you have it, hit it. But if it's still the scary cat one, then you're fired. Okay, $17 here to the long side. I like that one breaking through 17 here, and if that can happen, then yeah, I like CCL in this space. I also like Save, which is Spirit Airlines. You can see that one here. What did I write down here? 1875. That's sort of this wick. Look, we got to 1875 about a week ago. 1875 today as well. So I like 1875 on Spirit. And what did I say on CCL? 17. We're a little ways away though. Let's just check out quickly, Neil. I just want to check.
Sean, I was looking at 1625 to 40 last week, which was heavy resistance. The fact that we're gapping above it gives you a chance to maybe buy a bit of a dip on Carnival if we get a shot there, and then the next level up is that 17 to 17 quarter area. The thing we're looking at, Sean King, welcome back there. Thanks, of course, for the super chat. I do see a lot of the members on the board here. We're going to get to every one of these names that we try to, but with only 7 minutes left. Wow, time is absolutely flying by here. But CCL, I like that. Also on a bit of a dip into that 16, 25 to 40 range.
All right, guys. Yeah, there's lots still to get to. We have Electrocore, so E-Core on the NASDAQ with some vaccine-related news. That WIMI from Friday, huge mover on Friday, extending gains in the pre-market. AMC Entertainment securing $300 million that we mentioned last week in new financing. Neil mentioned that Churchill Capital. We have EQ as well in the NASDAQ. I'm going to talk about that one in a few minutes here. Let's bring in Arun, though, and we'll have a look at the overall market and see what we need to be aware of as far as levels are concerned going into the open this morning. Arun, good morning.
Good morning. It's an interesting day to start, right? I mean, the market's up 0.75%, and I don't know, in terms of trading it, I'm not sure exactly how you go about doing that. Levels, too, the closest level I have is down at 31.45, so that's not even close by. The only level or the area that I want to keep an eye on, I think this is going to be very interesting, 32.25 going up to 32.50. That started... The reason I pulled this area up is because that started the drop back in June, and also that was also the bottom back in early February. So a big interest in that area. I'm seeing 32.25 through 32.50. By no means is it a solid level. That's just an area to keep an eye on. Know that if you're getting into longs, going into that area, you may run into some resistance. So maybe quicker to take some profit as you go through it. Also, it's an option. If you see a ton of selling there and it's set up on the sell side, maybe take a shot at that if it's there and set properly with the risk-reward ratios. But in terms of buying right now, I have no clue what to do here. I'm just going to be waiting, see what the market develops as the market opens and continues on. It is a Monday. Hopefully we get some action starting today. Started the Monday off right, but in terms of levels to work with, nothing really. 31.45, but upside we got 32.25 through 32.50. That's the area to keep an eye on for today. That's all I got, Brendan.
Great stuff. Thank you, Arun. Good to have both some support levels and also where we could run into a little bit of resistance in mind on the overall market. Let's talk about this one. EQ, guys, Equilium to the upside. Big time. Yeah, 200%. We were actually a lot higher than that earlier on. They also have some COVID-related vaccine, or not vaccine, but treatment news. So this is more along the lines of the remdesivirs of the world. So they've come up with a treatment for patients who have COVID-19 that has shown some positive initial results. So this 1075, little edge here at 1075 to 1080, a really, really high area of congestion on the daily time frame. So if we get anywhere near that, again, 1075 area like that to the downside, we already broke 10, so that gave you an opportunity to maybe test a short through the 10 retest. Fail of 10, also a good spot for EQ, guys.
All right, guys.
Yeah, I was looking at that EQ and ECOR, both those names there. Of course, ECOR actually rubbing off the top here. So it's a little bit higher in terms of a percent gain, that 270%. Watch out for that 340 off of the top. There is some support at 280. We'd look to maybe take a short opportunity through there. But with 4.5 minutes to go, there are a lot of movers this morning. SPAC actually continuing its little surge there, guys. So it just burst through that $20 area through 1950. It looks like it's headed back towards that high. So already a nice gain if you already had that one. I like the break potentially at that 2150. That's going to be that high break. And it looks like there's some serious support at that 19 even area. This is all on some good volume here going into the last 5 or 10 minutes here, Sean.
Yeah, if you can, guys, the show is obviously on for free. We're looking for some support here. If you can join for $5, you get to join us and show some support to us. You hit our go home, you hit join up right here. You can do that. Valeria will drop the link in the chat right now if you're on your iOS or if you're on a mobile device. You could do that. And for $5 a month, you're going to get some fun emojis. We're actually in the process of uploading a few more. So that would be fantastic, guys, if you could help sponsor the show. Again, we're doing it for free. I'd hate to turn the lights off and be blacked out on this one. So if you guys can keep sponsoring us through that show, that would be fantastic, of course. But yeah, Nokia, CCL. Look, CCL, Nokia's always up here, but it doesn't really do much. It does a lot of volume, but doesn't really trade much. So we kind of ignore that. I did want to look at JP Morgan as well, busting upside right now. JP Morgan, I love this $100 level. We've bounced a couple times there. And there we go. Thank you, STFUFS. You are actually the very first, I'll put you up here to show you. You're actually the very, very first member ever, STFU. So thank you so much for that. And thank you for the extra $5. They're very kind of you. Yeah, so $100 right here to the upside. We'll see on JP Morgan. I do like that play breaking through as, yeah, COVID relief is in the building here. Thank you, STFU, for saying that as well. And we're going to get going here on JP Morgan. I do like that one. CCL, JP Morgan, Save, Workhorse. Oh, Facebook. I wrote down Facebook here. Wanted to make sure that I got into that one before, not into it, but got over it with you guys. We are now bouncing up to all-time highs once again on Facebook. I love the 247.50 break. That looks like that might happen right off the top here. You did get 247.20. If you go backwards a couple days here, here it is up here. 247 always in play with Facebook. So we'll have to call that up and see what that's going to do. But Facebook right now, guys, I do like the break through the high side of 247.50 on Facebook.
Yeah, one other we didn't get to. We talked a lot about the airlines. We talked about the Carnival as well in the travel space. But let's get to Wynn for a second if we want to jump over to the casino area. 75 even. We're just going to look at this on a pullback, a potential for support at that price. Also looking right here at this top break. If 78 quarter goes, but you sort of go back into last week, nice pivot at 78.50. We like that as a potential breakout. We're trading in the middle between that 75 and that 78. So I'd prefer to see a dip down into 75, see if we can't catch a little bottom. Of course, all these, I guess, reopening names starting to come back to the upside, of course, with that good Pfizer news. With about 1 minute to go, there you go, guys. We have a laundry list of names that we have to get to this morning. And let's not forget Tesla, hopefully giving us a 1,600 dip. Although, like we said, it's already taken out that pre-market high. I think you can probably throw that one out the window, wait for it to make a top, and I think that's the price you're going to look for in those afternoon breaks, which have been so absolutely fantastic. I got my eye on that E-Core at 280 if it can ever get to that price, guys. So once again, a laundry list, like we said, of names to get to. I believe it's going to be a Valeria on the bell. Not quite sure if that's going to be the case, but when we do get that ready, we're going to be dropping that one for you. Watching this SPAC here, guys, it just got some tremendous pre-market volume. Watch out for any kind of a move. If it sells off at the open in the 19, I think that's going to give you an awesome opportunity to maybe dip by that one right off the bat with only about 30 seconds to go. So watch out. I'm going to have my orders sort of locked and loaded. If we get a big dip into 19, 1950, I think that's going to be a good shot here to pick it up here, Sean.
Guys, VB Swiss already joined, but he pays more for Netflix, and this is better. So thank you so much. I agree. I just finished watching season 1, well, almost season 1 of Animal Kingdom. So we'll see what's going on there. 10 seconds to go. Let's go, guys. Big time trade alert coming through. So let's wait to see if we can get JP Morgan through $100. 2, 1, hit that bell. Here we go. Let's see if we can't get this day rocking and rolling. We also have Luck and Coffee on watch as well today. That one's been moving around for a bit now as well. So we're going to trade some of these names as JP Morgan bouncing right now.
And E-Core trying to get down through that 3 even market just does. But look at CCL here. I was watching this one to see if we could get that 1640 to 1625 on a dip. Looks like it's just bouncing around in the middle of that range. So we're not going to force the trade over in CCL. You want to be patient on some of these for sure. You want to get back to that SPAC. Why? Because SPAC is the high flyer of the morning. Look for 2150 is the break that I like. I was hoping we'd get some kind of a dip buy. No selling off the open whatsoever in SPAQ. Remains bullish.
Okay, there we go. We just got into something. Nile long, 1534. So here we go, guys. It takes out that top spot. That wasn't even the high of the day. We just talked about going long through 1534. So right now, a nice little 10-cent winner to start the day. We're going to see how high this one wants to go, though. 1555 maybe coming here. 10 cent already in there. I hope, Greg, I hope you have that NIO. I don't know what he has, but
no, Tesla on the break already. So 1660 went. We just got up to 80s or so. You know what? It's just a ridiculous run on Tesla. You just got to look for any kind of a pullback or any breakout, and it's giving you anything and everything, guys. So 1660 would be that next price if you can catch that on any kind of a dip. I think you got to be involved in it. E-Core looking to take off the top 340. If it gets there, we're going long on that break.
Yeah, and here we go, guys. Nice little move up here on NIO. The only position we have on, and it's a banger. So hit the cowbell right now. It's 20 cents and still going. We're out of just a little bit. Let's see how high we want to go now up to the high of the day. So there you go. Better than Netflix, I'd say. So you're paying for your yearly subscription right now on Netflix. Keep going up, NIO. So NIO, again, you take some shares. Nice little trade happening right here on NIO. We also get into Netflix. Facebook right now. Bang! 25-cent winner on Facebook as well. Everything ripping upside here, Neil. Let's go.
Yeah, watch out for Workhorse. We're looking for a break long through 1750. No Moss, guys. It just broke through 17 to the downside. I just chased this one through 17. I'm not going to chase it any further than this. It's going to be a pullback into that price. Otherwise, we're not going to be involved in this short. Workhorse just going absolutely parabolic to the downside action with Tesla going up.
Yeah,
Brandon,
chicken dinner winners, guys, right now. Facebook ripping to the upside. 70-cent now winner on Facebook. Oops, we did it again, Brandon. Let's go.
Another one to look at, guys. Your NETE updated their current merger discussions with Mullen Technologies, asking for another 30-day go shop period. They granted them that, so 50% on that news. We're up to 1918 area on net. Guys.
Just alert, Weemy halted right here off of the open, so halted to the upside. We're going to watch out for that open. It could be an upside break. It looks like we're headed down on E-Core through that 3 even. It's 280 that we're targeting for a break to the downside. Otherwise, it's going to be 340 top end. Here comes CCL. We wanted to dip by into that 25 range. It makes its first move below that 40, so we'll take our first shot here in front of that 1625. So long now in CCL, already starting to bounce.
And we take it out and we hammer this Facebook to start the day. What a winner. $1.40 now in the money, and we're still holding on to this one. It's just ripping upside. We take some out there at 248.67. Check the board at the bottom, guys. 247.53 is where your boys got this one. And we also got NIO. Bang this one out too, guys. Hide your kids, hide your wife. It's already starting here early and often on Trader TV Live with the big winners. This is why you watch. Here we go. We started off again 2 for 2. Follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram. All we're posting is winners. And here's just another one. Ho-hum.
Wow, Tesla, 17.20. Are you absolutely kidding me? So CCL, first leg, we got to win. The second half, we'll take out for a quick little hit there. But Tesla, this is getting absolutely insane. I'm now looking for about 1680 to 1685 on any kind of a pullback. Goes through that 1700. You just want to be involved in the party. Brennan, what do you got?
Just checking on space here, guys. Virgin Galactic just popping up on a volume scanner. Back towards this top end of the consolidation on a daily time frame. 2050 to 21, guys. Space starting to go to the upside as well.
Wow, everything working out. I got that space future on that one. That one's just ripping to the moon as well. This is $1.20 now in the money on Facebook. We just took some out, 248.50. Now we're very, very light, 10% left on that one. Our NIO's coming back down. We did get some out there near the top, 66, but now a flush in NIO. So NEO now flushing back down. We still have about 30% of that trade, but guys, it's already been monstrous. We've already I got to put my goals a little bit higher because we've already reached them. So here we go. Let's just keep on going and trading for you, or else what are you guys going to do? SPAC $20 as well, coming back down. And there goes a flush on Tesla back down to 1700, guys.
Yeah, and back to the upside here is Workhorse in towards that 17. Again, didn't want to chase it to the downside. I think you were giving it to that 17 quarter, 1740 range. You wanted to wait for your price. Here comes a dip in Tesla. Brendan, what do you got?
Worth mentioning, guys, Pepsi reported earnings this morning, so they did get a little bit of a pop in the pre-market here, but straight back down, 138 up here. We're back to 135 for PEP, guys.
Speaking of things begin with P, Pfizer immediately dipping down. We talked about some support levels. It's a 35.10 break if it ever gets there on Pfizer. Otherwise, we're sort of waiting to get any kind of a pullback into the low 34 range. Tesla on another run here. It's going to be a 17 quarter break for me to the upside, or 17.20. Didn't give you those 16.80, so going to have to buy the breakout instead of that pullback.
Here we go, guys. Just looking at JP Morgan, it is coming down here, obviously. We talked about that. I did like a $100 break. That didn't come through, so I got to cancel that order, but I just put another one in here. I do like it this is a little bottom here, 98.60. It's falling down. I mean, you can see the futures, so we're not going to fight the futures right now, but if they do come ripping back up, I don't mind a 98.60 long there. You'll probably see that on, and guess what, guys? Bang again. NIO all the way back up. We took out some on the way down here. We're getting a little nervous around that 50 area, but here it goes right back to the upside, guys. I'm going to tweet these all out if you can, guys. Follow me on Twitter. We talked about this today. We crushed Tesla on Friday and posted all those winners as well, and a few insides coming through on Instagram as well. But okay, right here, 1575 right now. Lots of size on the offer here. NEO. Let's get some out. Just size at 1575, guys.
Yeah, quickly just got a little bit of a break there in Tesla through that 21 that we were talking about. So first leg let's see if it can take out that 17 quarter. It does, because that's what Tesla does already. So you quickly, immediately jump off here with a quick $5 scalp. See if you can't hang on to the rest. Now, I would have liked the 1680 dip. I didn't get that, so we jump into the long break. If we can get $10, $15 on this, we'll keep scalping this one away. But 1722 on a 1721 break, looking for about a $10, $15 winner on the second half of this trade, guys.
Yeah, Tesla, big time mover there, and good on that. We're watching NIO here, still to the top side. We're watching for JP Morgan. We're also watching out for Facebook, and we only have 2 positions on right now. Facebook, we'll just get out if it comes back to even here, 247.50. We're very, very light on this one. We've already cashed out, so that's already a done deal on that. What other names do we have written down here? CCL. Oh, let's check out Save, Spirit Airlines. That one, again, a big mover, sometimes not very liquid, but today it is. 16.95 all the way to the downside again. We were just wondering if the market wanted to keep going upside there. That's why we gave you some upside targets on a lot of these names, at least I did anyways, but now Spirit falling down. Let's see if we can't find a spot where they might not like this. I mean, 15,000 cases in Florida yesterday? Okay.
Sean, this Weemy is ridiculous. It does open up, it tests the top, but then immediately halts again after breaking through this 25.50 breakout price. You get an instantaneous halt. Tesla's running into a little bit of resistance at 17.30, but once it breaks through, we'll do that. that, and we had a bit of an idea on Tesla. It didn't quite go to plan in terms of the dip buy. You see here's where I wanted it at 1680. It never really gave you that little dip after the move up. We caught the break once it took the high. You're quickly scalping in and out. A couple of legs here, so we already took a $5 winner, and we just took, I believe it was like a $12 or $13 winner there. Just check my out. Yeah, 1350 on that one. And we're going to look for breaks at 1750, pullbacks into 1720, rinse and repeat on Tesla. Man, this is just a gift that keeps on giving. I want to get that Weemy at some point, however.
Yeah, so you're reloading up there at Tesla. Unfortunately, my charts just failed there, but I'm going to open them back up and get this going. We had luck in coffee. Look on the look right now. There we go. Charts open right back up here. Big move down and then all the way back up. We don't have any executions on this, but we've been doing pretty good on it. So I did want to bring up luck in coffee, and there it goes. Though through the roof goes end of the IO right now, going through 16. Nice little win from right now. We're going to take some out here at 16 and then reevaluate. But yeah, big winner today on what wasn't much of a roller coaster, just kind of straight up here on NIO. What up, Brendan?
Another vaccine name here, guys. Moderna going mRNA 5% already. Jefferies initiating this morning with a buy rating on Moderna. So 64 down here. We're at 66, just consolidating right at day highs. Guys.
Guys, watch out for this SPAC. It looks like it tried to take the top, failed break at that 2150. This is while we're sort of looking at Tesla. Now coming back in. Remember we talked about 19 even to 1950 is support. Looks like we could get a bit of a test there. Tesla coming back in towards that 1720. I see it at 1725. This is one of those we wanted to buy the dip. I wanted 20s. It gives you 25 here. Here we go. Here's 1720 coming in. Do I get any shares? No, you've got to be, sorry, not to yell at you guys there, but it's insane price action. I just saw it dip down in past that 25 for a single tick. I was sitting at 23 and then jumps $10. So you're getting some crazy price action. I'll try one more shot here, but if it dips again, it's likely to possibly take it out. E-Core is going to trigger any second now. It was a 280 break downside, and then we're shorting that name.
Oh, man. And Neo, I keep calling it the ticker name here. Straight to the upside, guys. 1610. Wow. And yeah, we just did tweet that out, guys. Follow me on Twitter. And the reason why we do this is so you guys can sort of re-see. I always get questions on where did you get in on this trade? Where did you get out here? So we highlight that 1535 straight to the upside, out a little bit here, and then out some more. Follow me at TraderTV Sean, and we'll get rocking and rolling. Facebook, though. Bang that one out, Brendan, because that's a big one. We hit the bang there, and then let's go throw it over to Brendan. But we got to hit his little emoji thing here, whatever this thing is called. There he is. Brendan, give it to us, buddy.
Let's find some more of that. Yeah, TSM, guys. Taiwan Semiconductor out with June sales numbers this morning that were better than expected. So big move up here for TSM. 65 through 66 now on heavy volume, guys.
That BNTX, just watch out. It's sort of coming all the way back through to the downside. I do see a top at 79. It held it at the open, so you can get a pre-market high that holds at the open. Watch out for that price a little bit later on in the session. 74 would be the next leg support to the downside. So BNXT is going to be on the radar. Top break, though, not going to happen anytime soon. Tesla, wow, it's range-bound trade at this point, looking for that 1750 break, which has not come into play just yet. But I can tell you one that is not working so far. It's that E-Core to the short side. It's back towards that $3 area, but I'm now watching in SPAC because this is down towards that 19 even area that we're looking to see if it can hold. We get a bounce off 19, and we're going to jump into the long on SPAC. Of course, that special acquisition company. The other one there, CCXX, not too crazy. We will check back in on that. I like SPAC through here, 19 to 1950, a bit of a long with a stop at 19 even.
We get into a little bit of luck in coffee here, so we'll wait to see if that one wants to do anything. We're long right here at 34. It's at 35 right now, not doing anything. So we'll wait to see on that one. $2 winner now, and Facebook just continues to rock and roll to the upside. We'll be posting that one later as well. But you got something else, Brendan?
That EQ, guys, halted upside. Volatility halt here. We had a big flush off the open all the way down to almost 7. Just halted to the upside now on a volatility halt, guys.
Okay.
And yes, I saw the comment there. I got a little bit of a chuckle there. Someone saying Brendan looks like he's shirtless. We do have a SPAC bouncing off of 1950, at least for the time being. So I'm going to quickly see if we can't jump into something. We wanted this one possibly bouncing off of 19 even. First leg here in front of 1950 will be good. There was some nice consolidation at that price. Tesla about to break 1750, so we'll take a quick little breakout trade through there. Why did that not fill? Looks like, oh, we finally actually did get the trigger. That was a really late fill there on Tesla for me, so I got to check in to see what's going on there. But I got the 1750 break, and I'm going to be in basically scalp mode here throughout this rest of this trade here in Tesla now that we're top-end trading. We just got the long in Tesla, we got the long in SPAC, and we just got the short in ECOR, not EQOR, ECOR.
Yeah, Tesla moving around. Facebook still $2 winner. And guys, I never honestly, I mean, if we would have thought NIO, I can't take credit for where this thing's going. I can just take credit for taking this long. But we had no idea, like, up 10% again. Brendan, give it to us.
Another one here, guys. CCXX just popping up on a volume scanner here. Watch 13. Looks like resistance from the pre-market. That's that Churchill Capital just moving upside in a hurry here, guys.
Oh, that's
Churchill
another one
Capital.
of those
That's
SPACs.
the other one I was supposed to be looking at. SPAC we have. Churchill Capital we don't. So certainly that was one that I did have an order. I thought I had an order to go on that break in Churchill Capital, but it hasn't triggered in just yet. I think it's at 13 even. So I haven't seen it break. That means we're not triggered in, but I'm looking for 13 even still on CCXX. Just want to make sure we get that when it does fill. SPAC holding 19s, but if that goes, we're going to be all out of that one. 18, once 19 breaks, we're going to have to cover SPAC, and there it goes, just all the way to the downside. We thought it was going to hold through that 19 even. That was the price we identified, but SPAC heading back southbound here to 1880 now, Brendan. So I'm going to check back in on that one, but we're looking for a CCXX break at 13. Brendan, what do you got?
Not seeing anything specific on this one, but Chewy, guys, nice move here. 4.5% straight upside through 49 at the open there. We're almost at 51 for Chewy, guys.
Wow, Chewy. Yeah, that's another name that I own, but I was debating dumping that one because that's a big COVID play, needless to say, there with Chewy. So right now, just Facebook and NEO that we have on. We are waiting for JP Morgan. Let's check back. JP Morgan goes other way. So let's just cancel our buy on that one. Oh, one name I did, I'll go back and cancel that quickly after. I did want to talk about Roku here. It was upside huge, 5%. Now we're dipping back down. You see what these futures are doing. Roku right now near VWAP 160.50. This has been a COVID play to say the least. If you check out a daily chart on Roku, guys, Roku's been nuts. Oh, hold on a second. That's not a daily chart. This is a daily chart. Roku down here, nice little bottom, 105, 110 before taking off. Now we're staring at this December high, a 168 right in the face. We did have some consolidation. This is why we're looking at it right now, 160 and change, but we're already taking that out. So let's check out Roku right now, guys.
Yeah, and I just keystroked, try to put a stop order, and instead of putting a stop order in on Tesla, I ended up punching out. And then it broke through 1775, so I would be happy with a couple of bucks worth of a win, but Tesla, that should have been an easy $10 win. We're headed towards 1800. We jokingly were talking about what to do at 2000 last week, Sean. Yep. I feel like we're going to have to make up our minds very, very quickly because Tesla is on the march. 1800 about to come in here now. I'm watching pullbacks into 1750. We just bungled that breakout, but I'm not going to sit here and chase it. We're gone 3 for 3 on Tesla. We'll be happy with it, even though that last win, oh man, it's a sucker's move right there. So not going to cry over any spilt milk. I'm just going to get back over to eCore, the only thing that I actually have on right now to the short side. Of course, we talked about this one gapping up. You are seeing it hold this secondary level in front of about 1310. 1340 remains a breakout to the long side for me, but we're just basically shorting in front of this second level here, looking for the rollover through 275, and then we can join this little party on the pullback. But wow, Tesla $10 away from 1800. Brennan, what do you got?
Speaking of Netflix, guys, yet another all-time high just reached there. 4.4% for Netflix. Just took out 575 there on a decent volume spike, guys.
Wow. I mean, talk about nuts. I mean, Netflix is just insane. Look at CCL, guys. I mean, Netflix, I can't believe I haven't found my way into that name in a long time. 1555 here to the downside. We'll stay with what we've been hitting, and that's CCL. I like this little trade here breaking through. If you go back, there was some heights here. Where was it? It's up here, 1550. This is what we're talking about right here, 1560. So now we go short CCL, waiting to see what comes through on that one. Facebook all the way back down again. We only have 10% left. Should have got it out, but got a little bit greedy on our Facebook trade, trying to let that one run, but we did. It's already been a big trade for us, but now we're breaking back through VWAP. So let's dump this one. If it breaks through 248, that's that VWAP break. We're just going to dump it. We're already in the money. It's going to be a 50-cent win no matter what, but we took out nice top side, $2 there on Facebook already.
Yeah, watching a 1750 dip on Tesla, but also looking for Weenie to open back up once again. It should be in just a few seconds. Downside halt for the first time here, guys. So it tries to break through pre-market tops at 25, 25, halt, and then now trading to the downside and another halt to that side. If we can't take out the top, I'm going to be shorting in front of 2620, but that's going to be a breakout, guys. So let's see if we can't get some weemy to the south side in front of it. There's a Tesla dip buy in front of 1750. So like I said, I'm going to be scalping this one off as much as we can here. Just see if we can't take a quick little scalp off that 1750 range, any kind of a bounce there. But weemy, I did not get into that short. What happened there? Oh, we have to check to make sure we got some locates on weemy. I want to be shorting in front of this 24 area. That, of course, is the top since this whole price. It's going to be a breakout long through 26, 25. That's going to be the high of day. So weemy, just got to check on some locates, guys.
I cannot believe Tesla today, that action over there. I know Neil's been all over it, so that's amazing. Good job on that one. But
and there again, another $8 quick scalp. And again, that's all I'm going to be doing here in Tesla. The spread's like $3, but you get that little dip buy. You flushes down. You just pick that even dollar where there was some consolidation, and then you're jumping in and out there, guys. So quick in and out trades on Tesla. The next time I would try that would be at 1720. Remember, that was the breakout price that we liked earlier. So let's catch that one on a bit of a dip. That 1800 first go through was an unbelievable short. I would think it's a shallow short the next time with a potential breakout at some point throughout the day. So as much as I would take the short in front of 1800, I'm not expecting a $40 retracement the second time. Brendan, what do you got?
Guys, anyone wondering about that MXIM, Maxim Integrated? They're being bought by Analog Devices. All stock deal here. MXIM looks like 68 billion in stock. If you're wondering, big gap up on that one today. There is the news, guys.
Okay, we got out of some of our, okay, good one, yeah, Analog Digital, ADI there. So nice little, bad little out here. I mean, we took CCL short breaking through off that 1560 level that we thought could have been something, but then we dumped half there. So that's gonna be a loser. We're gonna hold the rest until we come all the way back, which the futures are doing just that right now. 1570, 1581, that was the high of that tick. We'll get out if it breaks that. If not, we'll hold for some more bottoms. But right now, CCL, yeah, not treating us well. We'll flush ourselves down the toilet for that one. But Facebook, wait back to the upside. $1.50 here on FB, guys.
So, Sean, I made a promise to you guys, and this is kind of, it didn't break the rule, but it breaks the rule enough that you guys are going to have to work out a camera shot. And because I'm flat right now, I got to drop and give you 20 because Workhorse here, I talk about these pullback shorts. The higher low that was put in 1750, you got to give your stop to that level. I actually get stopped out here, shy of that at 17.25. Lazy price action. So as much as I'm up on Tesla and losing on Workhorse, I should not have got out of this trade. It should have given me the profit down into 16.25. But the second they're ready, I'm going to have to get my morning workout in because I'm a man of my word. And I broke my own rules here with this workout short. And that's just ugly. You can't really be doing that. You're working into a short in front of 17, and then you got to let it break that 25. 1750 was that price. We talked about that in the pre-market and the high of day. So I'm going to take this one over to Sean, and I'm going to drop and give you guys 20.
Good, yeah, good job there. Nothing like doing that. You got to follow your rules. We did talk about that on Twitter today. I messaged out here a Warren Buffett quote here. Guys, we don't have to be smarter than the rest. You just have to be more disciplined. So dropping and doing 20 is a good discipline there for you.
From over trading Tesla, guys, but we're going to do our best here, and it's just, you guys can count if you want to, but it's going to be pretty easy.
There we go. Okay, he's doing them, guys. Yeah, you guys can keep counting on that. Yeah, I don't know. How many is that, Valeria? 3.
That's 10 right there.
7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's about 20 anyway.
Yeah, that's easy.
Good job. Yeah, that's an easy one. No problems. There he is going there.
I don't give a damn. This is what it's all about, guys. Look, Tesla's going to give you that 17.20 second now. And again, I already have my orders locked and loaded, ready to go. It's going to be scalp central on Tesla for me. Like I said, I'm a man of my word. And that Workhorse trade, I think, we'll review that at some point as to why you want to give it that extra space. And you can't make those types of morning mover trades without being willing to give it to that next level to the upside. Brendan, what do you got for us, buddy?
Guys, some movement in the cannabis space today. Afria gapping higher here, 7% on a Stifel upgrade. So Stifel upgrading and raising their price target on Afria today, guys.
Did you say Afria? Okay, well, here we go, guys. Yeah, Afria, it's nice to see some cannabis names finally moving around. Again, APHA should be the symbol, I think, in New York. No, that's in Canada, TO. So again, oh no, it is in New York as well. We don't have the symbol there. No, it's AP. Yeah,
you got it right.
AP, I don't know why I didn't have quotes there, though. APHA right here, 1620. 1624 NASDAQ. Okay, right. CGC's over there in Canada. But we have CGC as weed in Canada. But here we go. AFRIA 625 out of the top side, 630. Let's pick some cannabis names up if they do decide to eventually go here, guys.
And a quick little move down in Tesla here. Tried to catch that bounce. And again, I think if you're, look, I'm going to miss that one here off of 1720. It bottoms out. I slipped my bid in, trying to catch something on the way back up. And it did give a quick little $10 scalp there. But I think we're going to start to wait for some consolidation. That play might be done in front of this falling sword. If we get some consolidation in Tesla, maybe we'll look for that breakout trade here. But, I'm basically sitting here up on Tesla, flattish on CCL, and then losing an E-Core, SPAC, and Workhorse. And as much as Tesla's paying for all of that, you don't want to overtrade just because you have something that's working out for you there. I do want to get us quickly back into airline space. I know we haven't looked at AAL yet, but maybe we should have through $12. That's fine. It just bounced off 1150. A bit of a pullback action in both airlines and in CCL. We'll check back in on WIN. It does seem like, despite the fact the market is holding up upside for most of this, you are seeing these travel names come back under pressure. See if they can bounce off these lows. 1150, there's consolidation on American. Maybe there's a little bit of a bounce back buy. So I actually thought we'd have some upside trend in at least CCL, but AAL definitely working to this downside. Let's see if 1150 can hold. Brennan, what do you got?
In case there wasn't enough, more vaccine news, guys. Nova Bay, NBY on the NYSE Exchange, 53% here, just popping up on a volume scanner here. Also with positive data on a vaccine for COVID-19. Guys, day highs up here. Just below that 180 level, guys.
Nova Bay.
Oh,
okay.
Man, Lemonade is up again. You see,
You can't stop that.
Yeah, the volume is not that fantastic, but once again, 95.50 it just got to. Keep in mind, it was 96.80, I want to say, is the all-time high. That was just IPO'd a few days ago, so obviously that's not going to be a huge level. Watch out for a break of 100. I think we'll be involved in that break. I'll take it, possibly through 97 for a scalp as well, given that high is 96.80, but it's already pulled back, so that might not happen for till afternoon or tomorrow. Either way, I'm going to be looking at it. Let's watch out for 88.50 back to the downside. Lots of consolidation in the pre-market at that price, and that was a good price last week as well.
We do like that Lemonade. I mean, Lemonade, a good name there, and a refreshing drink. Okay, CCL out there, 71. We're still holding half, so now we need to get a little bit of a bigger winner because we did take that 15-cent hit. So now we'll see if CCL wants to come back to the downside. We're in denial still, and we just got into Roku. So 159.20, that's a new position alert on Roku, now breaking through that little level there. So let's go long there and see if we could do some special trades here with Roku. Long 159.20. What's up, Brandon?
Market not doing a heck of a lot so far, guys. Kind of consolidating here. Starting tomorrow, we're going to get bank earnings. Here's Citigroup. Big flush off the open, 53.80 down to 52. We're kind of consolidating at day lows. So some of the banks showing a little bit of weakness, guys.
Yeah, and we just dipped into a win. We talked about a bit of a dip buy we're looking for in this name. It did come down into this range from last week. You have, of course, Friday's close at 74.13. You had some consolidation before big drop off on Thursday between 74 and 75. So I'm going to dip in here at 74.68, maybe add to it in the low 74 range. Tight stop at low of the day. We said we were looking for dip buys and win. We're going to go ahead and put this one on for you in the casino space. And again, their exposure is a little bit better than, I guess, some of the other beaten up names here, but they're all doing their best to open back up. And with the good news coming from Pfizer, most of the bump has been given back. If it's all given up, that'll mean we're below 74 and I'm out. But we're long here in win. New trade alert there. And SPAC. We covered at 19, but it's back above that price. So if it breaks out again through 1950, that could be another re-entry for us.
Yeah, we did get out of some of our Roku there ahead of 50, which is what we always do. So nice little 20-cent plus little scalp win on that one. So we do have Roku still to the long side. The only problem here is CCL. We're giving this all the way to this 81 level. It did come all the way back almost to flat, but we did not take that one. So we'll have to wait to see what's going on. I see Valeria's coming with a refresh of coffee. That should be good. But guys, our merch is up. You can pick up Trader TV Live mugs as well. And, hopefully you're enjoying some nice little coffee today. It's been a big winning day for all of us here, I think. And there goes Roku. Bang that one out. So to the moon goes Roku. So a nice little I don't want to hit you there, Valeria. There you go. Thank you so much. A nice little 80-cent win right now on Roku, breaking up higher and higher. This name tends to never want to stop. So right here, 73-cent win on 65-cent win on NEO, NEO. Roku, $1 in the money. Facebook, $1.02 in the money. And then CCL right now, 15 cents. The only loser we've had on so far today is this bad boy right here, Carnival Cruise Line.
Yeah, watch out for this ALT, guys. It's starting to come right back in here. I'm looking at this 25 level. We did mention, of course, that we were looking to buy dips that already filled so much of that gap in. And the first level we were watching was about 24.70 to 25 even. That's where it's bounced once. If it consolidates a little bit longer here around 26, we'll jump into the long there. Of course, we had that UAVS. I know that was trading on that Amazon drone news from last week. It just took out the top. So you had a bit of a top end break here at about 243, stalled out and then broke again at 250. I'll look for some pullbacks into that 250 range to join this party with support at that pre-market high at about 240. So another 14 million in volume. Tesla, another dip into 1700. So if you like the pullback in Tesla, 1700 is coming in rapidly. Man, if it takes that out, if that gives you any chance to be buying anywhere around that 1650 break from earlier, yeah, we're going to be all over that if it gives you 1650. That was that breakout price in the pre-market that got taken up literally the second we talked about it. So if it gets anywhere below 1700, watch out for Tesla through 1650.
It's already all the way back down there?
It's just 1700 even.
Okay, Tesla, what a mover there for sure. Roku, 65-cent winner. We just tweeted that out, guys. If you're following me on Twitter, come. Because right now we have a nice little quote here from our friend Warren Buffett. Let's just check out. Are we near 4,500 yet? Almost, guys. We'll see if we can get to 4,500 followers today. We just tweeted out that Roku there. Like, I don't know what's going on today. I can't pronounce or think of anything as we're going, but maybe it's the winners. So let's just keep those coming for you guys as well as we continue to look around. I did want to have JP Morgan on watch. Thank you, Brendan, for highlighting bank earnings this week. This is a pretty sweet trade, man. I love when things consolidate like this. So consolidation alert, I guess. We'll pop a wheelie for finding this one. We'll wait to see 97.50. Looks like a decent break here coming on JP Morgan. Let's hit that if that one does come through, guys.
Yeah, just going to be tweeting out this Tesla here, but it is holding 1700. You're seeing what is a tremendous $100 pullback here. If we get back above, this sort of 1720 mark, that could be another potential breakout trade. 1700 is a pretty good hold here, so I'm looking for a 1720 break as we go to Brendan for Happening Now.
Hey guys, 10 o'clock right on the nose. Let's have a look at North American markets so far. We're still in positive territory. Nice look, a little bit muted as far as action. We got the gap to the upside for these guys, but no real directional move yet. S&P 0.6% to the upside. We have the Dow 0.7%. NASDAQ leading the way once again. Nice to see tech stocks back to the upside, more than a full percent. The Russell 0.5% for small caps to the upside. Here in Toronto, the TSX kind of muted as well, 0.3% only. Still in positive territory. We'll go down to Brazil and check out the BOVESPA 0.5% to the upside for Brazil stocks if you're watching down in Brazil this morning. We mentioned this Afria. This is in Toronto here, 6.8%. You can see on the daily time frame. Watch 650 up here, a bit of a level. We've kind of cleared this area of congestion on this gap to the upside for Afria again. It was Stifel raising the price target on this one this morning. So if we can hold that gap to the upside, might give you a continuation move. Shopify really strong in Toronto today, 1.4% in positive territory. Worth noting more volume on the U.S. listed side. Some of the banks were strong at the open, but all kind of fading this as well as we've seen in the U.S. So Royal Bank here gapping higher, but right back down to where we finished on Friday. So as a group, kind of following some of the U.S. banks to the downside, guys. We're positive, though. Back over to you.
And back over here, and another wheelie will pop in Tesla. At some point, I should probably use the graphic. You get that 1720 break, immediately takes you right to that next little 1730 level you can see here on the way back in. And this is just looking at a 1 minute. We'll probably change. It's at past 10 o'clock. Sometimes I'll use a 3 for execution more, but it's another little bit of a scalp. It's an $8 trade here, and again, it's been $5 to $10 type scalps the whole way through. Of course, we did have that one keystroke error. That's going to sort of haunt me, but who cares? We're 4 for 4 on Tesla every single trade's been a good one. Watch out for a retest of 1700 here. That one bounce was fantastic. I did miss it all the way until 1720. But again, if it takes this out and we get a chance to look at 1655, 1660, dead in the eyes, you can't hesitate on that. That should be a tremendous buying opportunity for all of us here. But it's likely it's going to get some consolidation, I think, in front of 1700, and then maybe it's a secondary break that I'd look for, possibly even at the same price, 1720.
Okay, so Roku right there, guys. We'll pop a wheelie because we just crushed this one, but our last 20% out here on a 158.50 break. So we lose 50 cents on one side, but gain $1, actually $1.30 here. There's that same 50 cents. So if you cancel out this trade and that trade, still leaves you with a nice little win. And that's what we try to preach, man. Again, you know, I'm not going to show my Twitter handle again, but we talked about discipline. I think that's so super important. Neil's doing the same thing over there today with Tesla, you know, being disciplined, not holding out. I tend to hold for the big winners. Neil's doing really great there. I mean, a big winner is $8. So when you can take that.
Relative, though.
Yeah, I mean, relatively today, I guess. But that's a nice little win there on Tesla back and forth. So we'll do the same here on Roku. Look to rinse and repeat if we can't get back in. But everything's kind of falling now. I was really bullish based on what happened on the banks on Friday. We did see some big moves upside here. You can see making a bottom of 92 and then eventually closing the day like 96, 97, getting as high as almost 97 there. So a nice little run in the banks. Thought we'd have one again today, but you can see downside. What up, Brandon?
This UAVS, guys, just popping back up on a volume scanner, back to the downside. So failed pretty hard up there, 265. Watch 225, this level over here on the daily time frame. If we can hold below 225, might give you further move to the downside. The only news on this is they're going to expand their production facility with a new site in Kansas, in Wichita, in Kansas. So this was related to the Amazon drone news last week, guys.
Amazon drone news, you say? Yeah, Amazon's into everything, right, guys? So you can't get away from them. Okay, CCL now down to the downside there. I was going to say a comment about drones, but we're not trying to get political here. All the way downside here, CCL making that move, man. So here we go. We lost. This was a short 57. We lost 13 cents there. We just took some out, 46, 47, making that exact same number back. So we'll wait to see if CCL wants to make this a winning day for us or not. But right now we're still holding on to that short. And then we're out of NIO. I mean, I'm literally just waiting for this one. You know, this was our biggest out spot right there, 15.93. And then it was pie on face there because we just kept going down. But pretty much a bullseye by getting this one early. Now we'll wait to see if it takes out VWAP. And maybe this bottom's a good little look here. 1582. I'm going to get back to you guys on that because that looks pretty good.
I'd also have a look. Remember, it keeps on tricking us. So whenever you get a higher low or any kind of a bottom in the first 5 minutes on NEO, and I'm looking at this 1540 area, that could usually holds up. At least the last couple of weeks, that's held up pretty decently in terms of a secondary level here at 10 o'clock to 11. So I'm looking at 1540 is a bit of support that I want to be buying NEO in front of. But first, we got to go over to Brendan. What do you got?
Guys, worth watching Disney here, I think, this morning. Goldman reiterating a buy rating on Disney today. More importantly, their theme parks in Florida reopening as of today. When we get those daily updated numbers that come out anywhere from 10:30 to kind of 11, including from Florida, you might want to watch Disney today. Big flush at the open here, 121 all the way down to 118 already for Disney, guys.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely watch out for some flushes there. We do like Disney for sure. I like Disney to the long side, of course, because of all this news, but we'll wait to see in the bubble, the NBA players back there right now. JP Morgan, just want to give you this, guys. 97.40 is going to be the break for me there.
Watch out for Pfizer. We talked about 35.10 and roundabout turn here. Sold off, never gave me the support buy that I wanted. But 34.50, if you were liking that one, you got it. 35 is broken once and failed. And the reason why, we gave this one to you saying, ignore that 35 level. 35.10 was what we're looking at on the time frame. So if you took the 35 break, you're burned. And now we're basing out here in front of 35.10. This is why you have to go to that higher time frame and look to see what the significant levels are. So 35.10 break for me. I think we can go ahead and take a quick little attempt to scalp in front of it. Again, we have direct market access, so I can get in, get paid to short 7, 8s, and 9s with a very, very tight stop here, and then breaking out through 35.10. So I will be doing that on Pfizer. I like the breakout, but I'm going to play this short just for a little bit of a scalp opportunity back into 35. See if we can't make some money while we're waiting.
Yeah, I was actually trying to think about also the CCL here. Looking at larger time frames. Oh, good camera shot there. Right on, we have 1 minute, 3 minutes, 12 minutes, dailies and whatnot. So we just don't base all of our decisions, guys, on the screen that you see. We do show you the 1 minute chart just because that tends to have, you know, the most price action on it, obviously, as we continue to have direct market access here and tick down and show you every single trade that goes through on the system. So that's something important to us to make sure we do that. Just got into luck and coffee here at 31. We've just been scalping this a little bit back and forth here. It hasn't been a great trade, but it also hasn't been horrible for us either. So we'll wait to see here. Luck and Coffee was always waiting for a bigger move on some of these pink sheet names, but here we go. We're just trying to take 1 penny out here. Sometimes it's easy to get, sometimes it's not. CCL 1580 again. We're giving it all the way to 1585 or so. That one didn't pay us out. But look at the futures. We talked about that. This is what this chart is down here. The ES, so the S&P 500, directly up, and look at CCL directly up as well. Not a bad opportunity here. Let's try to fade into some of these trades. We'll take a little bit of short now, get a better average price, and then see if we break out. And if we do, we'll cover it, guys.
Yeah, reverse into that long trade, of course, off of Pfizer. So 35.11 we got slipped to. That's fine. It's actually not a bad price when you think about it because we only got slipped 1 cent. We'll start taking out just all the way into 35 quarters. Now, remember, we said this on Pfizer, a 25-cent move is going to be a good one. You got to size accordingly. 50 cents, absolutely fantastic. But you know what's also fantastic? We get to do some upgrades and downgrades with Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, we'll give you a few more symbols to look at this morning. Upgrades and downgrades. Upgrades on this side, downgrades over there. This one interesting. Denny's 2 weeks in a row catching downgrades. I'll show you that one in a second. Want to mention this one. We were talking about Sunrun a little bit beginning of last week. They picked up that Vivint Solar in a merger deal, so up again on that news. Nice run for this one, up more than 7% already for Sunrun. The ticker RUN. I'll show you that one in a second. Kozainen, it's as well. Also 1.25% on an upgrade. Some home builders on here. KB Home, Lennar as well to the downside. One higher, one lower, obviously. Upgraded and downgrade. There's that run. Yeah, we were talking about, I think it was this day right here, went from $20 all the way up to $27, picking up that Vivint Solar. So another push here to the upside for RUN, up 6.3%. Gave you a really nice clean break there of the pre-market high around that 28.80, 28.75 area. We're up to 31 almost on that Sunrun. Another one, here's Denny's to the downside. It's been a little bit of a struggle so far, or the past couple of weeks, in fact, for Denny's. Open around 890. We're all the way down to 830 after a couple of downgrades for Den. Back to Neil.
Thank you very much. Thank you there, Brendan. Just watching that workhorse, of course, you know, we had a great short that we took off entirely too early, but I am looking to get back on the horse, as I like to say here. 1670 is a level we're having some trouble breaking through on the way back. So I'd like to take a shot here in the 50s, 60s, maybe shorting in front of that 1670 mark. The market is coming back to the upside, and watch out, Tesla. Looks like it's going to take 1750 one more time. So that was a big level the first time. Like I said, we got that Pfizer long that we just worked at 35.11. It's trying to break through 15. We'll take some out in front of 25 and then see how far that party can go. But right now it's going to be workhorse for me. 1670 is the price. I think we'll dip in here again about 50s and maybe add some in the 60 range if we can get it to the short side on this consolidation. If it rolls over, you know, target is below that 16 or in front of that 16 and then some out just after into 1575. Otherwise, you're looking for a stop in and around that 1670 area stop if you like, though. You can go with a hard stop if you want. That Weemy looks like it just continues the halt party. We're calling 1, 2, 3. This is like the fourth halt we've had in Weemy. 2620 is that high break. If it takes it out, we'll be taking a shot at that long. We did mention we like that through the top break. It had a couple of downside halts. Now we're looking at one to the upside. If it opens up and takes out this 20 after the halt, that's fantastic. If it opens higher, I don't know if I want to take it. I like it as a breakout trade, not opening up higher than that 2620. So watch out for that on Weemy's open, which should be in just about a minute or so.
Oh, okay, that's coming back open soon. Okay, good to note that one. Look, our CCL guys, we've averaged into that a couple times here, but I'm very nervous about these futures because they keep going upside here. So a little nervous about this, so we're trying to cover just some here if we can. Our short price now is 69s, so we did average in a lot more than we had. So here we come back now down to a winning spot here finally on CCL. So let's take some out now. I'm a little bit nervous about the futures on this one. We did talk about that before. We do have JP Morgan as well, looking at 97.30 in the face. That's going to be a good little trade if we can grab that one. That's all that I have on the look right now. We are holding, you are seeing me long NIO, but it's a very, very small position. That was a big winner. I'm still waiting to see if we can get back above 16 on this name, but here goes CCL. No, not really there. It tried to go down there. We did get a wick down there at 59, but right back now to 71. Look at these futures going, guys. As I said, probably time to drop this CCL off.
Yeah, and the futures going is helping me, at least in the short run on that Pfizer. Of course, it just got to 10, so we'll take some off. Just got to 35.20. We're long here at 11s. Take some off in front of that quarter, like we said. Once it breaks the quarter, you're looking for that next leg to the upside. Pfizer, it's a fantastic trade, like we mentioned. If you can get more than 20 to 30 cents, great. I just got some out in front of that 25 at 22. So we'll go with falling money in Pfizer. Not always the best day trade for me, and I still look like Deshaun Watson in that picture. We got to get a new one there that looks a little bit more like myself. Why not? But Pfizer, nice little win here. I just got into that workhorse short at 48, like we mentioned. I'd had one time, probably in and around 50 to 55, maybe wait for 60s in front of that 1670 level that we were just talking about. So short in workhorse, long in Pfizer. This one's starting to work for us on that little breakout trade. Fantastic little look here through that 35.10 instead of 35, which would have failed the first time through.
Yeah, we're trying to sort of do a very similar thing here with CCL, just trying to get in and out of that one as much as we can. I'm hoping for some little downside. We are sitting here in the early 70s to dump a little bit of that one off. Luck and Coffee we've been trading, and again, just sort of scalping back and forth on this one. If you do see this one down 11.96% right now. There goes JP Morgan. So we started this one off with a 97.30 long, exactly like we discussed it here. Let's see if the futures want to keep going upside. So we'll lose on our JPM probably and win on our CCL, or vice versa, but both right now tend to be following the futures, and we're long JPM now, a hell of a lot more risk than on the CCL trade. So let's go to the upside. What you got, Bren?
Not seeing news on this one yet, guys, but ANTE up 75% here on huge volume. They received a NASDAQ delisting notice way back the beginning of last week, but nothing since then, but big time relative volume on ANTE today, guys.
Absolutely, ANTE. And speaking of important things, I want to jump over here, guys, just to remind you guys that coming up a little bit later, I've been shaken out of a couple of trades today, and we talked a little bit about that in Workhorse, bit of a mistake there. But we're dropping an educational video on our Market Wisdom channel. It is shakeouts. It's part of risk management. You want to be able to hold those trades for your intended targets if you can. How to avoid getting shaken out. It's a very, very important topic. I hope you guys will tune in for that at 11:55. And again, as I always try to say, if you like any of these topics or you want us to do something else, just throw it in the chat, throw it in the comment section, tweet at any of us, and we'll make sure we get all of these to you. I think it's going to be a fantastic and important topic. Shakeouts, a big part of momentum trading, Sean.
That's for sure. And actually, you know what, guys? I looked at this JP Morgan. I'm getting some out now because I would much rather go long. I actually misplayed it a little bit. It's supposed to be 97.50. So we are long right now, 97.30, out of about 40% of it. The future's ripping, so it's fine. We're happy with it, but not the right spot, in my opinion, to get this. So we're going to drop it off. If it does go, maybe a little bit below. What is this wick right here? Oh, okay, just below 97. So 96.90 or so. Will tell us that JP Morgan's going to be wrong. I don't think it's going to be wrong, but it's not the right spot here to hold. I would much rather. I love playing through the 50s, 25, 75. So right now, not a great spot. Would much rather have gotten this more near VWAP on JP Morgan. So sometimes our orders go in and we just sort of get sidetracked with things. But that's that trade. So whatever. We've already cashed out some of it. We will be holding it until 96. 90 or so on the downside. So we've got to give JP Morgan a little bit of room. CCL coming back, at least for us.
Yeah, and another leg up on Pfizer. It got as high as 35.34 here before stalling out here at 35.30. Again, we like these quarters. It's a 35.10 breakout. I will take some more shares out once it gets back to high of day. I think I'm looking at reloads not any worse necessarily than the original breakout price that we took at 35.10. So it'd have to pull back to at least teens for me to get more shares to the long side of this trade. I do like this for extended move to the upside. We are cracking 3,200 on the ES. Pfizer is likely to follow the market a little bit, of course. They're leading the news this time, and I got to flush another one down the toilet. You know what? It's just one of those situations where I'm dodging bullets all over the place, where I have a couple of big winners like Tesla and Pfizer basically paying for the hits that we're taking in Workhorse. And again, the second short's not going to be the same style as the first one. It was a very tight stop short that we're doing in Workhorse here off of this 1670 level, whereas earlier we wanted the bigger move, which it gave you guys. You had to hold that one, of course, to about 1750. I got it at 17.25. You don't want to get too lazy with those round numbers, and a lot of times it's just not a good reason to be in a trade. I saw one of our members there, Daryl, talking a lot about SPAC for potential reversal. I'm not to the long side on this one yet. I have made one long that didn't work, but watch out for 20 even on a potential break. What'd you reload there, Sean?
Yeah, I didn't reload anything.
Just
JP Morgan. It's trying to reload itself. So let's see if JP Morgan can't get going back to the upside there. We did take some out there. 38s. Again, this is not, we're going to go longer here, breaking through 97.50 on JP Morgan. So we're going to watch out for that one, hopefully coming up soon. CCL does dip back down. We're just scalping out of this one, guys. Right now it's 10.17, and it's like the market, although just made a nice little move up here, we got to find some names that are like moving around. Roku today, we were long that one, but Roku right now, we did dump that one off right here. It looked like a good out at that time, but now look, Roku back to day's high. Hopefully you guys had some of this one, but we stay disciplined and get out. And again, this is why I think you got to sort of follow us a little bit on Twitter so you could see our trades, see our exits, and see why. I mean, this just broke down. It broke below this candle right here, guys. This is the candle that I got in on. Once it breaks below, we get out. I mean, that's just something that I follow, and I don't hate myself for doing that, but look at this move back to the upside. Obviously enjoying a nice little futures run upside. So that's what's going to happen to you. But Roku, darn it, maybe we'll take that one out if it does break upside as well. And then Facebook was the other huge winner that we had to start the day. It does not go all the way up here. We didn't get out at 249 and change, but right now coming back down just a little bit here is Facebook. So let's get out to some more CCL now, guys. We're short 76. 4 cents doesn't seem like a lot, but it's in this range, and I'm long JP Morgan. So if the futures go up, I want to celebrate that a little bit more than Carnival coming downside.
Yeah, and anyone that Andy up there on ante might be looking pretty right now as it heads towards a high of 145. I don't like top end breaks that are right in front of like a $1.50 level. So I'm not going to take a break at 145. I'll take a break at a $1.50. I am looking for consolidation at 120, 125 to jump into a long. It's worth noting it's trying to put in a lower high here, so the reversal trade could be in store for ANTE here, but I like the break through 150. That's going to be the trade that I'm going to be putting on in this name. You are seeing a decent, well, not much of a pullback here in Pfizer as we're back to 25. Like I said, I'm waiting to the quarters to be able to get into that one. I do want to check back on ALT, if only because it's having a lot of trouble pushing back through the upside. So you are seeing it continue a downward trend. Double bottom so far at 25 even. So this is a level that you're going to have to watch. If 25 goes, you're going to see me short this one. If it does manage to hold a higher low, you can maybe dip in here for a quick little buy in the 25 to 25.50 range, looking for move back into VWAP. That gives you 25 to 50 cents worth of risk to try and make 2-3x on that type of a trade. But it's always going to be a reversal short side through 25 even. So ALT, 25 double bottom. Quick long off the front of it if you can catch it, but I'm taking a short break if it goes.
Okay, yeah, it just keeps on going upside here as CCL. So we do have an upside target here of 90 to get out if that does break, but maybe even right here, 83. This is why we've been dumping it. We're so light now, it doesn't even matter. I want to give a shout out to my parents if you're watching. Love you guys, and yeah, that's about that. I always talk to them every day before I come into work. 97, okay, we get out a little bit more there. JP Morgan, bang! That's a nice little win there, so we'll pop a wheelie for that one. Now we're heading to 97.50. This is the sort of the target that we wanted, so now we'll see if it breaks through 97.50. There we go. Now we go longer again. We talked about going longer through 97.50. JP Morgan, we're still long. This long was 97.20. So now we'll add to that position, 97.50, and see what kind of upside wants to move here. Remember, bank earnings coming, and the stock wants to move. Let's just hope we've got it in the right spot. Let's throw it over to Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, small cap time. Let's review a few names that we were talking about early on. I want to start with this one, EQ on the NASDAQ, still 160% to the upside. This was COVID related, so they were working on a treatment similar to the remdesivirs of the world for patients who currently have COVID-19. So $10 even we talked about as a level here. It was sitting just above that, gave you a flush through that. Great opportunity on that break to start the short, give you a test of 950, even 975 just before the open. open. So 950 to 975. Yeah, $7 at the bottom there. So $2 flush off the open. This thing's starting to work back towards the lower end of its range. So EQ, a great short this morning at the open. Workhorse, another one. I love these when they get that huge flush at the open after a move higher in the pre-market, and then that retest of the level that broke down. So in this case, 17 to 1725. We get the flush off the open, the retest, the fail at that level, and then the secondary move to the downside. So this as well, 1720 up here, down to almost 1520. So another $2 opportunity there for Workhorse. To the downside, I want to talk about this one a little bit. WEME, big mover on Friday, another move to the upside today. I was looking at 17, wasn't really interested long, but 17 to the downside. So never got back below this 17 area. If we do, when we do, nice little consolidation below 17 might give you a short on WIMI. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Brendan. The march back to 16 even is on in CCL, guys. It bottomed out here 1550. You're seeing it come back in. I'd love to see some consolidation like we're seeing in ALT, but we're a little bit late to this one through 1570. If it can hold this price, I think it's going to be a long into that 16. If it gives us a dip or gives us a break, those are the two ways we're going to get involved. We still have that Pfizer, of course, in the money. And Joey G, welcome back there. Thanks for the super chat. We'll get TOMZ on the list and see if we can't have a quick look at it once we get a shot, though. It wasn't on my list to begin with, so we're going to have to check in on that one. I'm just going to get my orders ready to go here. 16 even. Carnival Cruise also looking at a 1570. If we can hold that price for another bit of a dip buy situation on that name. We did try one time with mixed success, initial long off of 1630 or so. Did get a nice little win there, and then we took a hit when it broke through those quarters. We'll see if we can't double dip now on Carnival Cruise.
Yeah, and here comes JP Morgan. Nice little win there. 18 plus cents now on that 50 break. So nice little win here for us on JP Morgan. You can see we did go long initially 25, more long at 50, and now we're going bang to the upside. So there it is, guys. Nice little win there. So Superman is back in the building. A nice little 40-cent quick win here on JP Morgan. If quick by I mean 7 minutes, we'll take that little win for JP Morgan. And we continue to go to the upside. I did want to celebrate also, guys, it is time for some Hydration Nation. So all of you guys that are out there, we're trying to chug down a gallon of water, guys, a gallon of water coming through every single day. Hydration Nation, keep that brain flowing, keep those thoughts going, and it's been good. So it's been a wild ride, but we'll take out the hammer today. Successful day. Thank you, water. Let's go.
Yeah, just checking in on that TOMZ. Look, this is on the pink sheets, guys, and it's not doing a heck of a lot of volume. I know some of you might have access to trade on the OTC there. I'm assuming you do, Joey G. I'm seeing right now not a ton of liquidity when I'm looking at this one on level 2, and that's the first thing I would look for in a day trade on this name. It is a bit of a breakout that you are seeing on the daily chart through that 150, so I guess that does give you an area, or at least a stop area to watch on any kind of a retracement if you're looking to continue this breakout trend in TOMZ. But when you're talking about levels and the OTC, if there's no liquidity at that level, it's harder to have that kind of a stop. So yeah, 150 looks like a decent level for you to go long in front of. I don't know that I would be trusting it when I'm trading here. I do see some security on the OTCX. There are a few hundred shares here that you can catch at 157. You probably see some at 150 as well, but not a heck of a lot of volume or liquidity on TOMZ for me. Brendan, what do you got?
Just seeing BNTX day highs here, guys. Yeah, we did take out that pre-market high. Wanted to double check that, but watch this wick over here. I think it's 79.90 from a week and a half ago or so. But yeah, BNTX 13.25% now. New day highs for that one, guys.
Yeah, rewind that one because we did talk about that breaking through. Maybe a better trade than Pfizer, but I know Pfizer's been a good one, so can't argue with that one. Okay, JP Morgan, I see you. We just got out again there at 65 for that 40-cent winner. What we're doing, guys, just to give you an update, we're scaling out a few shares every 10 pennies. So the next time we'll get out is in the 70s, then we'll get out in the 80s, and we'll wait for $98. But hells to the yeah, guys. It's not fruit salad time yet, but we're going to hit it anyways. And I'm going to take a little bit of a fruit salad break here. Not really a break, but I want to have one of them. I'm going to have honeydew melon. Is that the right name for this? That's what I call this. The green melon? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I don't have it in front of me, but I think that's what you got there, Sean.
We're going to eat it anyways, and that was a good trade there on JP Morgan as we get out. Now, guys, we're a third of our position on JP Morgan, looking to get out high side here. Sorry about that, guys. as honeydew melon choking on it right now.
Try not to choke on the honeydew melon. I'll try not to choke on these shares of ANTE here, breaking through the top. I didn't take I took the 150 break, but didn't get any shares until it got to 155. If it tries to shake you out on a pullback, you're probably talking about a 145 area all the way back in here. When you go to the daily chart, it's not as if you're running into any levels. We're past the key ones here at 150. This is why I like this break as opposed to 145. So let's see if we can ante up on this. Up 85%. I want to see if it has some more run to it, but 145 is that test level. That if it slips back down, we'll see if we can't add to our position and then get a secondary push through to 160, hopefully, then 175 is an ultimate target.
JP Morgan breaks through 50, and we did get out of some there. Again, trying to stay disciplined. Our average price is 44. So win. We haven't lost on anything yet with JP Morgan. And yeah, the break spot, you know what? I'm not going to let this go back below 25s here. So I know it's not a great stop. It's a 30-cent stop, but you know, I do think that I just don't need these futures to fall back down. We're long here. I think that's the right play. You can see the futures still moving up. The only position that I'm really FOMO'd about here is Roku. So right here, you might want to hide your kids if you're a Roku shareholder and not let them see the profits that you're reining in right here, because Roku, nice little move to the upside, 157 to 164. We did have this one long, 159 right there. So I'm going to do a quick little Twitter check backside here. Let's see how many followers we do have. If you're joining me for the first time, I have no idea even what I'm doing today. 4,400. Let's see if we can get to 4,500 by the end of the day here. That would be pretty sweet. You guys can DM us at any time as well. We got to follow us first. What up, B?
A halt alert here, guys, on ANY on the NASDAQ. This is actually a Canadian company. So we're talking about that WIMI, which is a holographic 3D AI company. This is another one in that same sort of group. They work on digital software in the 3D imaging space. So nice little pop for any today as well, up 45%, guys.
All right.
Yeah, you just watch out. It is only about 500,000 shares worth of volume, but certainly, look, it's definitely going to be a potential breakout, and it's already sort of gone here. But I'm watching a few obvious levels here. 480 is going to be the first one. It's going to have to do some serious volume sustaining throughout the rest of the day for it to only be 440,000. But that also means anybody short this name or anyone caught in position is going to have a trouble with liquidity, and then maybe it could push the price even further. That ANTE pushing back upside, I did get that dip buy, so 152 is my price. I can tell you Pfizer making a secondary move here, and again, Pfizer's a different style of trade, and obviously you can be a little bit more patient with it. It's not going to make gigantic moves. 25, 30 cents is a great trade here. We have 25 pennies on right now. I'll go ahead and take some more out. I still have 20% of the position once we get out here. Then we're looking for the rest out in front of 35.50, which has been the target all along. Not taking any of that ANTE out until we get close to that 160 and then 175, which is the ultimate target. So I found myself in only 2 longs right here. I don't have any shorts, but the market's going up, so I cannot complain at all with that, guys. Let's continue this party to the upside on ANTE and Pfizer with nice long there. BNTX, great one as well, but I think we both like them, and we gave those to you, and this is why you got to hit that subscribe, so you're reminded to follow along at 9 o'clock, get the key levels, get the watch list, get our rundown of some of these stocks, get the names Brendan's bringing to you, because some of those are hot fire like the ones we got here.
Yeah, we love AMD. That's a big position for me as well, personally. Okay, JPM, I kept hitting it, but we're reloaded. So if you know what that's from, put that in the chat. No cheating, guys, if you're a longtime member. You know we like to use that reloaded all the time. Why did we reload JP Morgan? Simple, man. Sometimes it's easy. The future's falling down. Not, but JP Morgan falls down. So if you do a little zoom action here, JP Morgan falls down. We notice over here the futures do not. So a nice little pickup spot down there. 34 as we go long. Out 45s there. Now we'll wait to see. I mean, look, I'm not sure why it's not going here. So I am turning a little bearish now on JP Morgan. So let me see if I can find, before I throw to Brendan, see if I can find the bear. We haven't hit that in a while. Oh, I don't have salmon bear because that would be good for our friend Brendan Wickens, who is it nude shirt or salmon shirt, Brendan?
I heard nude.
We'll go with salmon. How about that? Yeah, absolutely. NXTC, guys, another one. Market making new highs here, looking relatively strong, but NXTC, not so much. 40% to the downside. This is an oncology company. They had a phase 2 trial on a treatment that failed. They announced that over the weekend. Chief medical advisor or officer leaving the company this morning as well. So NXTC, if you're looking for one to the downside, huge volume on this, 40% on that one, guys.
Yeah, thanks for all the love on the chat here, Neil. I mean, best show ever.
I mean,
blah,
you
blah,
guys
blah,
are
blah,
awesome,
blah.
man.
And you know what, guys? It's not that I don't disagree with you, but when the market's moving like this, there's really not that much. I mean, the market's going straight to the upside, but a lot of these stocks right here aren't really moving. So stick with us, guys. Keep putting any of those names in there that you want us to look at, including AMD. Thanks for whoever just brought that to our attention a couple minutes ago, and I apologize. I have the chat up right here. Just everything's moving so fast. We do love AMD. AMD's been a big time mover. As you know, Neil, it was down to $50 not even too long ago down here. And if anybody wondering, we're in Toronto, Ontario, Canada on a trading floor. And I want to say what's up to all of our traders sitting at home. Hopefully, I heard something about phase 3 soon. So Ontario, population of like, I don't know what it is, 15, 16 million, something like that. Only 100 cases yesterday. So congratulations to anybody and everybody wearing your masks. Keep the diligence going, due diligence, and we will be back soon on the trading floor. But AMD looks like it might break this bottom here, Neil. So although it's been a strong name, look for it to fade through this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a house cleaning of some of these stop orders that I have. You never want to get into position that you didn't want, guys. And when you have winning trades on, it means that your stop sometimes didn't hit. We're gonna clean that up and get to VXRT, which we've sorely neglected here. Big runner. This has been a good stock, for a day trade at least for the last couple of weeks. But firmly watch. I know some of you watching a 10-10 break. You do like this lower consolidation as well. If it does round out and then test VWAP, I actually like this 9-10 as a bit of a bounce area. If it ever gets down here, maybe you catch a bounce at lunchtime. Otherwise, yeah, I'm with you guys. 10-10 break looks pretty good to me. You go to that little higher time frame, this is why you're going to like it even more. When it gets past this 10-10 to 10-30 area, the first parabolic move it made got you to 14. It's been basing out in this range, trying to break back through this 10 multiple times. So this is why the 10-10 break can be good, because it's been making every effort to get back into that catastrophic or parabolic range. Once it does, I think it's a good long trade through 10-10. Otherwise, you are looking at that first sort of consolidation that I pointed out there at about 9-10 or 9-20 or so. So let's watch out for that pullback. But 10-10 break, I'm on board with you guys.
You scared me there. You said catastrophic level.
I know. I meant parabolic.
I got it. Yeah. I got to get locked and loaded if that's one of those levels. Okay. AMD. I'm still looking at this. I don't mind a 56.60 break. But those of you that know how I trade, anyways, Neil kind of likes to play some of the fades a little bit. I think I play breakouts a little bit more. But I don't know if I want to trade AMD to the breakout side, guys, to the downside, anyways. It's just been so strong. We're still up 1.5%. But if you are long AMD, guys, watch out. 56.60 needs to be your drop zone there. So watch out for that one if you are in that. Yeah, Neil, I know you just talked about VXRT.
I love the fact that you said drop zone.
I know,
and I'm gonna go way back. Drop zone was was a ride at Canada's Wonderland. That I had one of my favorite summer jobs. Is it still there?
Yep.
I haven't been to a theme park in years, but I used to work at one, and it's been a bit of a ride to the upside on Pfizer. And I finally have slain the dragon, which is day trading in Pfizer. And I waited for a breakout trade. And again, sometimes you just got to be patient. And we talked about sort of Pfizer just trying to break above that 50 period. It's been making a run towards 35 multiple
not Brampton
times.
again.
And it finally gave you that 35-10 break that I was watching for. We talked about it here. Go to the higher time frame. 35.50 was my target. We just got it here. Secondary break through 35.50. But first, we got to go to Brendan. What do you got, buddy?
KNDI, guys, another one. If you look hard enough and far enough, you'll find another company in the electric vehicle space, Kandi Technologies, KNDI, Chinese-based electric vehicle maker, announcing a new city SUV, they're calling it today, to great esteem. Apparently, 10% almost to the upside for KNDI on that news. I mean, another one, smaller one, but in that group as well, guys.
Okay, guys, and here goes JP Morgan off that reload. What a beautiful reload there. We'll floss that one off. I mean, you can't get much better than that. Comes all the way back to the downside. We will be tweeting this out as well. We're right at VWAP right now. This has been our best out, but what a great trade JP Morgan's been today. So we hit the cowbell for you guys on that. I know there's been a lot of micro caps or small cap stocks going today, but today my biggest winners, man, Facebook and JP Morgan. Roku also a big winner for me today. Not even close to where it should have been, but what can you do there? Neil dropped and did push-ups today. We've got all the winners going on today. Tesla's breaking like 1,800 soon. Let's go back over to Tesla just to show you guys what kind of a craziness this has been. We tweeted it all out on Friday afternoon. We ran this. Neil's been running this morning. But look at this break, guys. Like 1660 rips to 1,800 base, 1795 before pulling back, bouncing around VWAP. And we got to pay attention to this, guys. 1 minute VWAP seems to be candy on Tesla. And this better not be day, I just said the word candy. Now you watch. I don't know if it's going to be candy day today, but Valeria, if it is, then there's something up with that.
Then we're making it up.
We'll wait to that at 11:45 or 11:50, guys. Wait out for our, what do we call it? The National Something Day? There it is. Throw it over to Valeria. I have no idea what I'm saying.
Thank you, Sean. And hey guys, welcome everyone who joined us for the first time. Please subscribe to this channel and join our live trading show every day at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. You can also now join our membership. Members have their names in green on the chat. Members have a custom TraderTV.live badges and also members-only emojis. Someone requested a sheep emoji, so please stay tuned. We'll do that for our members. Thank you everyone who joined us. And guys, you can find join button right next to subscribe at our homepage, or you can join at the link I'm sending on the chat. And of course, dear viewers, please support and smash the like button. We really need to know that you support what we are doing. I'll see you later. Back to traders.
All
There's
right.
the break on VXRT. It just gave you a big slip. I'm going to see if I can catch them on a pullback there. I got slipped to 18s, which was a horrible, horrible price there. Obviously, everyone trying to get in at the same time. And I got candy up because it's also trying to break through the pre-market top here at 550. So you got sort of double barrel action through some highs. I'm going to catch anything I can in this VXRT on any pullback that it's going to give me, probably all the way to 10. I think the thing about a 10-10 break or on that Pfizer 35-10 break is it gives you an even level that you can work with if it tries to fake you out. So I'll take anything I can get. We did get stopped out, a break even on ANTE there. 145 was a 150 break. We got out some in front of 60s, and then the rest out on a 145 break. So basically a break even, slightly up on that one. But VXRT, you can see if we can pick anything up on a bit of a dip.
Okay, guys, and this is, again, one of the beauties of being able to go back and forth and not pay any fees. We have direct market access here at Day Trade the World. Join us because bang, there it is again. We alley-oop the market on this one. Look at the market going downside. We get out of our JP Morgan here and reverse the short at 20s right there. So out, that green, I don't know what that is, but we get out there at 97.08. Now we'll wait to see if the downside wants to come through. More downside here on JP Morgan if these futures want to continue to flush down. If not, we'll just get back out near VWAP up here, 97.50. But right now short, 97.10 and a 50-cent win right now on NIO. We talked about it going back up to 16. Let's put an order right here around 16. Get out just in case it does do that, then we'll reevaluate. But yes, guys, we go from long JP Morgan to short and catapult ourselves as we're going to break through 90. There it is. Boom, a nice little 30-cent winner there. Hit the cowbell again. JP Morgan going downside. We go long through 97. Bang that out. Then we go short on the retracement back. That's how it's done, guys. Back and forth on this little name. Not big winners, but we did tell you that we were going to be scalping this one. What up, B?
Hey guys, yeah, sector time. Let's have a look at the overall S&P 500, see what is leading. Yeah, we're almost at a full percent now for the S&P 500 to the upside. So a nice day developing. Want to point out this group right here, though, consumer discretionary stocks. We mentioned a few of these off the bat this morning, but some of the retailers showing a lot of relative weakness here. Gap in particular, 4.5% to the downside for GPS. There's Kohl's as well, 2.75%. BBY, though, to the upside, 2.5%. Amazon in here as well, 2.5%. There's eBay also in positive territory. So some of the consumer discretionary stocks a little bit relatively weak. Want to talk about the industrials as well. We mentioned the airlines in the pre-market as being strong. They have since gone negative. So AAL 2% to the downside, UAL 3.5% to the downside. There's Dow as well, Delta, Love, Southwest in here 1.3% to the downside. So transportation stocks are weak. There's Boeing as well, 1.6% in negative territory. Overall industrials, though, are still higher on the day. Healthcare stocks are actually leading the market at this point. DGX 5%. We have LH 4.6%, ABMD 3+% to the upside. Here's the tech group as well. I mentioned this one. This is a merger deal, stock merger, MXIM 12% or almost 11.5%. Some of the semiconductors, where's the semi group here? Yeah, this is it. NVIDIA here, 2.2%. AMD, we mentioned, 2% to the upside. There's Micron as well, 1.2%. There's Apple popping up, had a little bit of news on shipments of their new Mac computers being better than expected. So 3.6% for Apple today on a gap to the upside. NTAP, 2% to the upside as well. Overall, now over, guys, a full percent for the S&P. Back over to you.
We go, guys. Yeah, we'll just adjust our microphone here. And look at this, guys. Look at this out on JP Morgan. I did want to tweet that out for you guys, so we did do that. We just tweeted out this trade, and this is why. We just want to, I want you guys to understand why we go long here on this break and then get out near VWAP, and then why we go short here and then get out here for a 40-cent win. So if you can, and if you do have a Twitter account, follow me here. You can ask me any sort of questions. Already 80 new followers today, so join the club on that one. We also do post. I post some behind-the-scenes stuff here, including our friend KO here. That's not KO. This is my story here. Look, it's my current situation. Anyone trading? Look at this, guys. I didn't want to. How do I pause this? Anyone trade Roblox or play Roblox? My kid there yesterday, and I face palmed it. I was playing that for like hours. They were, and they continue to love Roblox. So if you know anything about that, not a sponsor of the show, but if you did want to sponsor up just a little bit, make sure you join up. We do have a lot of members on today, but we need some more. So give us some love here on the membership side of things. But yeah, that was Roblox. I don't know if you know anything about that game, guys.
I'm going to slap shot it off here for that VXRT. We talked about that 10-10 break, talked about the dip buy. It didn't really give me anything in front of 10s. I got, 10-18. I got 10-12s here, but I didn't catch anything sort of a 10-05, which would have been nice. Out almost everything, and once it gets to about 10-50, we'll take it all out, look for a secondary break, look for a pullback into that same 10-15, 10-20 range. So, just another sort of a breakout win. Pfizer, similar trade to the upside, not using the even dollar, but watching that secondary price action. Look, the key level is what matters more. Sometimes even dollars get you into trouble, but there is 10.47. So all out and looking for a 50 break, also looking for a pullback. Either way, I'm going to be getting back into VXRT to continue to play this upside party. Lots of breakout trades today here, Sean. It seems like that's the flavor of the day. But Candy has not taken that 550.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting for that one to break 550 here, which could happen any second.
Yeah, we're waiting for that one too. Candy on the breakout. I just set a membership there. Attaboy Eric. I see you there, Eric Meadows there, holding this Roku long, and that was a great trade there. I should not have gotten out. That was so silly, but we did. And what can I do about that one? Got to hold things a little bit longer. Afria there, APHA, NASDAQ stock. Brendan again, guys, hit this one out of the park. I think he brought this to us around open, I would say, like let's just say 940, 950. Since then, guys, it was 458 all the way up to 485. Brendan, when you get a second, if you could just remind me, maybe we could throw to Brendan what's up with the cannabis space today, because you also do have CGC making a move to the north side as well. I noticed not 13%, but 5%, still a good one. True Leave as well, another big stock moving to the north side as well. I think that's an Amex stock. What's up, Brendan?
I was Stifel on Afria. Stifel raising their price target to $8 from $5.30 and raising to a buy from a hold rating on Afria today. So yeah, nice move on that one, guys.
Yeah, my chart's just being a little bit slow, but True Leave is TRUL there. Another one, Aurora, looking to get faded back down. Remember, guys, this is not a $12 stock. This was reverse split quite a bit. So there we go. Okay,
there goes Candy and VXRT, same time. Both of them just broke.
Okay, well, Candy right now, we have it. We're long right now 50s, so we get a great little price. Let's see if it wants to take out 55s. It does go as high as 55 there, so we'll wait for KNDI. We are long now, 550. Look, guys, we've got it all. JP Morgan, a sweet short right now, 26. That's a 30-cent winner right there, so we'll explode the money on that one. NIO, I forget to put an order before 16, and now he's still running that one. That's a 75-cent winner. And KNDI right now, moving to the upside right now, 58s, 59s. Your boy is right there. That's a 9-cent winner on KNDI. Let's just keep going to the north side here. No plans on dropping this one off, but KNDI, holla, we got it all. JP Morgan, KNDI, and NEO. This is how we do it, guys.
Yeah, I haven't taken anything out of Candy just yet, but it is trying to break through that 60 mark that you talked about. VXRT, of course, this is a secondary break on VXRT. It's sort of already gone through that top end move that you saw earlier. So on a pullback, you are looking at that 10, 15, the range that we did like before. I'm still going to be involved there. We finally got ALT for the first time today, guys. ALT 25.30. We talked about this in front of 25 even. Having missed out on some of the earlier move in ALT, we wanted to see if we could catch a pullback. You get this little crazy wick in, and we were waiting in front of 25. Double bottom at 25. We're waiting to go long in front of it. There's 25.31. I want to add one time again around quarters. play the pullback into 26. So ALT long side, first time of the day. We got that candy, which is not going anywhere, and trying to dip buy here if we can on VXRT, but 10.15 was that level that we really, really liked. And I'm still not that far away from looking back at Tesla again. But I think we all know we're going to be taking that 1800 long break. But there's one shot that I will take. I did mention this. If it tests 1800, I'll try a short in front, not expecting a monster move like it did the first time off 1800, but I will take a little bit of a dip on that short in front of it just to catch maybe like a $10 scalp on Tesla.
Okay, Candy there, just looking at this and seeing what's happening with this stock. We just took some out at 59 for a 9-cent win. We're going to drop it back off if it breaks below 40 here. So that'll be a ho-hum trade as we go. Neil just talked about Tesla there. The other one I want to look at here, and again, thank you to Brendan for mentioning that this is near $20, and that is SPAQ. Spartan Energy, we all know it has nothing to do with energy other than that it's going to be the Fisker reverse here. So $20.06 is that high. I think it's worth a break, especially the fact that, yeah, Neil, you're right, Tesla coming upside right now. I don't know, Neil. I mean, I know you're waiting for 1800. I don't know if that happens until the afternoon, but if it does, we're watching that one. JP Morgan exploding. Bang! A nice little 40-cent win on that one. So we catapult ourselves to the short side. JP Morgan for the win. What up, Beep?
A little bit more catalyst here, guys, on Moderna mRNA. Now 9% to the upside. We were mentioning it back in here. Look at the volume that came in there at 10:30. Huge spike as the NASDAQ announced they're going to add mRNA to the NASDAQ 100 coming up on Monday. So another pop there for mRNA, guys.
mRNA getting added. That's a nice one there. Disney's been in the news, of course, with the reopening today. I haven't looked at it just yet. It is sort of worth noting that it did make one of those sort of low wicks to the downside here and then held this real level here at about 118.35. ALT, I got to get back to that one in a quick second. That starts to get on the move here. We did get some more shares on the way back up. Average price 25.35. Not taking it out till it tests at 26 even. So I'm kind of targeting about 50 cents on the first half and then hopefully $1 on that second half trade. And we're long in front of that 25 even. So we're risking 35 cents plus some slippage there. Nice little risk to reward idea off a double bottom on ALT. Up 14%, strong name. We're looking to take advantage of that little buy action that we saw off 25 as we got a little bit of a dip here in ALT. Candy resisting so far that 560 area, so it's right back here at 542, 547. Got to watch out for this one. A spread, usually, a $5 stock with a 1-2 cent spread here, opening up 4 or 5 cents at a time. So with a stop order, make sure you're crossing deep enough there. So we're gonna have to make that mental note.
Yeah, definitely. And Apple here getting that price raise from Morgan Stanley just now. Nice little intraday upgrade by JPM. So Apple right now bouncing on 400. You want to talk about a Tesla level. Apple's already this $1 trillion company. So watch out for a 400 break. I think that's worth testing at least by a little bit if that does come through. Maybe even before then. 399.50 is the day high there. So not a bad little spot if you want to test Apple. There's no better stock anyways out there than Apple, I think. So we'll see if Apple wants to go again. Remember, they're like, I don't know what they are now, 7% of the NASDAQ 100 and 3 or 4% of the S&P 500. So as the market goes, so will Apple. And Apple probably leading this market anyways. Let's look at this, guys. $399. Why not take a shot if it breaks through $399?
Absolutely. And just having a quick look at, not AHIS, sorry, just back at the AMC, check that. Brendan did mention this one. It was on our watch list and unfortunately did not get to it. It's a very, very clean downward trend that I'm seeing so far. It's giving you these nice little pullbacks every 15 cents or so. I think if it gets back to about 450, that would be your next leg in, but you just sort of watch out. If it makes a bit of a bottom at that 450 level and then holds above, it actually might be a bit of a retracement long. So as much as we missed the party and a clean work to the downside here, let's watch any kind of a pullback we can get. I'm not taking anything out. You're going to see ALTs in the money for me, 25.35 long. My first target, 50 cents. So it has to get close to that 26 mark for me to take anything out of that long. Otherwise, we're just going to be very, very patient. It's getting close to that 11 o'clock hour. Start looking at some of these names that maybe have been neglected. Maybe there were some missed opportunities. I know one of them has been Lemonade today. We did talk about this one a little bit off of a potential break. If it ever got to 96.80, which was that all-time high at the recent IPO, we'd be looking for a break through that price, get out in front of 100, watch for 100 break, but that's not going to be in store. It's now rounding out, holding 89, 1, 2, and now 3 times. So 89 looks like it's going to be that level, that line in the sand here, that if you like a bounce long, a pullback long, maybe you take it right here with an 89 stop, but we're only 20 cents away. So it's a very, very tight stop if you like it. I'd rather see if it can get back above 90 and take that break and then use 89 as a bit of a bottom here on LMND.
Okay, I did want to look also, yeah, good look there. I know you traded Lemonade last week. So, okay, 1570, there we go. We got out of some of our CCL, but then it had a little bit of an epic drop there. I'm not even sure what that was about, from 1590. Again, look at this, guys. This is why we preach sometimes about VWAP, as you guys can see reason why. CCL comes right back up to VWAP before dropping back down. I'm going to take a closer look at this one. Market up 0.98%. CCL down 3% here, so obviously a lot weaker than the market. So we'll take a look here at CCL and see if we can't do anything special with that one. But right now we are ready for Brendan. It's 10:50 already. Money talks, I guess. Brendan, what's up?
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. Let's have a look at FX World and see how things are looking today. Very positive on this board. US dollar weakness coming back into play again. Just read that headline, posted it up there at the bottom of the screen. The US and Brazil accounting for more than half of the world's daily COVID-19 cases in the past 24 hours. So yeah, US dollar weakness, the case today right across the board. You can see the euro up 0.6%, 113.6. Our Canadian dollar 73.7. We did break back below 74. Week and a half ago or so, 0.3% to the upside today. British pound basically flat on the day. It was actually negative, just getting a little bit of a bump to the upside. Japanese yen, Swiss franc here, kind of teeter-tottering. Japanese yen was down, now higher. Same story for the Swiss franc, starting to go back to the upside. Australia and New Zealand, nice moves today. 0.5% for the Australian dollar, 69.8. Not a lot happening down here as far as Bitcoin and Ethereum today. 93 holding for Bitcoin. We have Ethereum 243, but this is kind of that area we were talking about last week, acted as support for quite some time. We broke below, testing it again, that 9,300 area for Bitcoin. If we get above, maybe a little bit of continuation to the upside. Guys, back to you.
Okay, I've been looking at GBTC today, not much happening. I said we would look at CCL here, and again, I don't really have anything to the downside other than the same break that we took initially down here, 1550. So if that can come through again, we'll be on CCL, but I'm not super interested in it in this level here, guys. It's just bouncing around. Much rather look at Apple taking out the top here, 339 or 399, 339, 399.50, guys, Apple.
Yeah, I'm just going to add Smile Direct back to my board. I mean, it kind of slowed down recently. It was taken off of my quote board as somewhat regular, but I wish I had left it because you see a volume spike here. I see a couple of guys mentioning the break at 9 even on Smile Direct. Just sort of worth noting, you go back to the daily and sort of look at some of these levels here at 9.50 into about $10. And if it ever gets through here again, obviously that's a big time test. It sort of failed through each one of these breaks at 10 and then 10.50 recently. So you're going to want to make sure you're scalping those, I think, if you're day trading, and then looking for the pullbacks on a swing seems like a more obvious trend trade to me at this point. But if you like the breaks, fair enough. At some point, that 950 is going to come into play, and then 10. Those are all scalp breaks to me, not necessarily swings, unless you get a pullback into 850 where there's tremendous support on that. I got wicked out on ALT, and then we reversed to the short side trade there, guys. We talked about that bottom on ALT, and then liking the short below 25. It did make the reversal, so you got to give it to maybe 25.80 or so to the upside here. I might add to it one time in front of that 25.80, maybe 26 even, and then 22.35 is your ultimate target, as of course Friday's close price. So there's at least $1 to $2 worth of, I guess, downside or upside, whichever way you want to look at it here. I'm now short in ALT off of that long candy. Yep, first leg out, I had to take some in front of 560 because it doesn't seem like it wants to break it. If it breaks 60s, then we're looking for 75s as the next out in front. And then from there, you can kind of guess maybe 6 even. But KNDI really, really slowing down for us here as we get into that lunchtime hour.
Yeah, I mean, it's still okay. I mean, it's near its highs, obviously going now. Hopefully Candy can make that dream happen for us. We'll wait to see on that one. But okay, right now, guys, I did step in a little bit into GBTC, but it's not doing anything. This is that Bitcoin talk here. You could see Brendan just hit that up. So just broke through VWAP. We'll wait to see if that one wants to continue to go downside. But again, 1 million shares, not a whole hell of a lot going down right now. What up, B?
Win, guys, just popping up on a volume scanner here. We mentioned some of the hotels showing a little bit of strength, but $78 here, just taken out for the second time on a big volume spike for Win, now up 5% once again, guys.
Oh, you're making me sick, Win. So Win does this break. I was bottom picking on Win at 74, and it made the hold at 73. But again, you have the structure of the trade. It was going to be in front of that bottom that we tried it, and there's the breakout. So strong move in Win. I think it's worth noting where it's wrapping up to. This sort of 78 quarter. This is the pre-market high that you're looking at. So as much as it's a potential breakout, any kind of a roll, there's the break right now. So like any kind of a rollover failing through, if it doesn't get to 78.5 and rolls back to the downside, I'd be looking to fade that play and Win if we can catch maybe 78 on the way back in. But it's going to be 78.50 otherwise. I want a failure ideally through that price to give me a short. Otherwise, you're sort of playing that trend breakouts at 78.50 on Win. I don't like the quarter break as much as I like that 50. Win tends to have a 5, 10, 15 cent spread, so you got to watch out.
Well, that's the thing about Win. It's a good stock here. We're watching this GBTC. We're still short here 95. Waiting to see if there's any movements to the downside on this name. We do have some luck in coffee as well since we're on the pink sheet tip here. We're short 20 and sleepy time. So we'll wait to see if that wants to do anything. No. JP Morgan all the way back up now. You see the futures now making new highs. So we're going to drop off JP Morgan if it gets above here. We destroyed this short, so can't complain about that one. And the other name that we have on is Candy. We've already taken that out at 60 or 59, I guess. It didn't break 60. And I know Neil just talked about that. So yeah, probably get them all out if it wants to go back up there once again. So that's Candy on the loose right now. But we'll see if that one wants to do anything upside here still to come on KNDI. I'm hoping so anyways.
Yeah, I just got that break finally there in Win, about 78.50. Didn't chase it. It sort of came back to me a little bit. So we'll give it to that even dollar, see if it makes a run to 79. Tesla's still holding 17.60, so I'm not sure we're going to be getting into that one anytime soon. We like to file that 18 price away, 1800 that is. Make sure you tune in for that whenever you're watching in the afternoon. That's going to be a big time level if we ever get it. But right now, we need to get to Brendan. What do you have for us?
Big mover over the past couple of weeks, guys. ChemBio, CEMI. I was trying to figure out what day this was. Looks like back middle of June we had that huge gap to the downside, but ChemBio just popping up on a volume scanner here now, 17%. Watch $5. Here comes $5. Big time volume. No significant news on this one, but CEMI going, guys.
Okay. We're going to get out of this Candy in a minute here, guys, as this drops down again. We didn't take many shares. Otherwise, we probably would have got them out up here for 10 cents. We're just trying to hold out to see if this could be that home run that everybody wants. It doesn't look like Candy will be doing that much today. Other than that, guys, there's not too much I'm waiting on right now. I am waiting on SPAQ to the upside. That's a New York stock, NY. If you ever see that, by the way, NY, New York Stock Exchange, NQ will be NASDAQ, and then TO, Toronto, so on and so forth. It's pretty easy from that point. But NY and NQ, if you ever see that. Look, SPAC is not moving. It's hovering right around this VWAP spot here. This is kind of the setup that we like. Normally, I would take a long through here, 1975. So we'll look at that again. I was more waiting for the top to get taken out here at 20. If that does go, then I do like it better, obviously. So we'll wait to see if SPAC wants to do that upside through 20. But we'll take a closer look at a few more things. And guys, hit that join button for $5 a month. If you like the show, support the show. We have about 160 or 70 members, so that'd be fantastic if you could do that. And again, that's just on our main page, membership and join, $5 a month, guys. I hope this content pays for itself.
Yeah, 100%, guys. That's what it's all about here. It's all about giving that community aspect here. We're talking about stocks that we're trading, but also ones that come up on the radar that maybe we haven't seen. And sometimes you guys give us the advantage of pointing out a symbol. We'll give you our thoughts. We have a trade on. Sometimes we will, sometimes we won't. We are going to have a trade on when Tesla gets to 1800. I can promise you that. Right now, the high is 1795. I just wanted to show you guys in the chart here. It's trying to make another break through 17.75. If it does, I'm probably going to be looking for that short. And I think it'll be in and around the high 90s with an 18 stop. And I think you're probably hoping that it goes $15 to $20 retracement into that 1800 level. Obviously, the first time it was a monster pullback that got you $80. I'm not sure that's going to be in the cards. More of a scalp trade if it gets there again. So watch out for Tesla. It's a breakthrough 1800, but I will be taking that short in front. But for now, let's go to Valeria at the big screen for a European update.
Hey guys, welcome to the European update. Europe mostly in a positive territory, though Russia is down 1.21%. Britain is up 1.2%. Germany is up 0.98%. France is up 1.26%. and Spain is up 1.1%. Shares of Finnish company Neles rose 36% after industrial group Alfa Laval announced a 1.96 billion cash bid for the company. That's all with Europe, and I'll keep you updated. Back to traders.
That's all for Europe, eh? Okay, guys, we're just going to get out of some of this Bitcoin trade right here. 91s there, if we can, and there we go. I only had 150 shares left, so that's the out right there. Nice little trade, 5-cent spread, not doing anything. Thanks to Brendan for the money talks there for the quick 5 cents. So that's a good, well, 4 cents. Actually, plus we took some out there. Called 3 cents there. So nice thank you for Brendan on that one. Look at Netflix, guys. Wowzers. I mean, I hope you guys are long this one. Someone tweeted me out that they got like a $30 winner on Friday. You could have had one again today off that one. $5.56 bottom. Actually $20, sorry, to basically $5.76. So $20 straight off the top here off the open. And Netflix's previous 52-week high was $5.55. So right now we are well above that. We actually opened up above the 52-week high there and now making new highs as we go. Netflix is already off to the races. Before I throw it back to Neil there, JP Morgan, I just want to bring that to everyone's attention. Futures now ripping up. We do know that banks are coming with earnings very soon, so watch out for JP Morgan here. We're going to get out at 97.40 and then rip this thing long if that wants to go. So that's JP Morgan. Candy coming back. Nio, Roku. Congratulations, Eric. I know Eric, a longtime member as well, trading Roku there. We did have that one. Oh, we only had it $6 ago, but anyways, that's Roku. Should have held that one, guys.
Yeah, as the market is continuing towards its highs, it's giving you a pullback here in Pfizer of all names here. So 35.20 on the way up. This was a nice little pullback that we happened to miss. I think if we can catch it here in front of that same level, we'll take a shot just because you have the market going upside. You have a strong name, which is giving you a decent pullback trade into about 35.20. Now, 35.10 was that key level. So that's going to be my out. Personally, I like that a little bit better than the 20 you're seeing here. But we'll start the position at 26 in front of that 25. We'll see if we can't add to it in front of 35.10, guys. So I do like this trade overall here in Pfizer on a pullback, especially with the market holding that 3,200 and continuing to make fresh highs, guys. It's just a strong market. Led in some ways by the Pfizer news here. So let's take advantage of it while we can. I still also have both win to longside an ALT. That short trade not really going anywhere for me, and I'm hunting on that Tesla. Hopefully we can get to that 1,800 where we can take a scalp short in front. I know some people are saying he's going to short Tesla. Yeah, just a short in front of that 18 for a quick little scalp. I want to reverse long on a potential breakout. I want to get to NBY here because I haven't traded it at any point, but it's really starting to consolidate here. It's done over 50 million shares. It's up 50%. It is holding some of these levels here to about $1.60, $1.65, giving you some nice consolidation. It'll be a breakout potential for me through about $1.80 to $1.85. Then looking to see if we can run that into $2. But the real top is 220, so you almost have to wait for that, guys. That win trade is starting to work back in the money for us here, but I want to get out some in front of 79. I want to see if we can't get the rest. And as I say it, there goes win to the upside. So, bit of a mistake for me off of the open initially on when I tried to catch that little bottom move. Then it takes out the top. I'll get some out in front of 79 like I mentioned. And then when 79 breaks, we're looking for a move into $80. That'll give us $1 to $1.25 worth of a win here. So we made a mistake earlier on win, but looks like we can go arrows up now on this breakout trade. Secondary push here on win. Looks like we can get maybe a 79 break. That'll take us to that 80 even target that we'd love to be able to see here. The casinos back on track, at least in the short term.
Yeah, Win, and then LVS is another casino. Let's have a quick look at LVS quickly here over on the New York Stock Exchange. $48, yeah. Neil's been looking at Win today. This is up 5%, $48.50, a nice little top there. Looking at a daily chart, we still need 50 to come through on this name, but let's see here. Yeah, this is what I mean, $50 here. It's come up a couple times before stopping and reversing high wicks up here, so we do know that there's some action here once it comes to $50, so 48 and change. But good news if you're an LVS shareholder, we are kind of now breaking finally above this 50 period. LVS has been gotten hit due to coronavirus. We talked about that. Win, obviously big exposure in Macau as well. So Win and LVS both moving around right now. So good little opportunity there. We now do have Lewis Daniels sponsoring our guest trader of the day. So let's throw it over to Brendan and introduce our guest.
Hey guys, yeah, it is that time, 11:05. That means Guest Trader of the Day time, sponsored by Lewis Daniels Watches. That means every guest trader coming on in the month of July getting a watch from Lewis Daniels. Anyone who also signs up to become a guest trader in the month of July getting a Lewis Daniels watch, send an email to marketing@tradertv.live. We're going to bring on our guest trader here in a second. I want to show you one more name here, guys, before we do. BGNE, little bit thinly traded, so tread lightly. It's $200. But 213 on this consolidation, up to 222. Yeah, monster move for BGNE. It was one of the big pharma companies throwing a whole bunch of money at them. I'll get you the name in a second, but they're getting a huge investment from one of the big pharma companies. We'll talk about that in a second here. Let's bring on Arnav Hire, joining us as guest trader of the day. So glad to have you, Arnav. It's been a busy morning so far. What have you been looking at?
Yeah, so right now I have around 10 stocks, which I look at least per week. So I'm not really as focused as day trading as you guys are. I'm underneath the pattern day trading, so I can't make as many day trades. However, I do look at, I'm more into swing trading, so I try to hold stocks for 2 to 3 days, sometimes up to a week. So right now the 10 which I have, SPAC, obviously, that was with Fisker, that was something which I've definitely been looking for. Additionally, I've been looking at Norwegian, JP Morgan because of the earnings this week, Peloton, OSTK. Then I've been looking at Camping World Holdings, Ally Banking, AA, as well as NIO. NIO has been one of my, it's been in my portfolio for quite some time. So that's like one of the longer term, I'd say.
Fantastic. Yeah, lots of exciting names on there. Might want to add this one, BGNE, big mover today, guys. It was Amgen investing $400 million in Chinese-based oncology company, BGNE. Let's bring in Neil and Sean here.
I like that, Arnav. Brendan tells you a name and you write it right down. That is fantastic. I know there's going to be a lot of guessing here. You're obviously a pretty young individual to get into the trading game. Could you maybe we've met before. Can you maybe give a little bit of a backstory on why you're interested in the markets, how you got started? And I guess it's a pretty long story, so why don't we just start there?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm 17 from Austin, Texas. That usually gives a blank stare when I tell someone. But in truth, I've started trading or got into trading around 4 years ago, roughly when I entered high school. My family friend is a stock investor, a stock trader, and from him, I first got interested in investing and looking at the financial world, I would say. So for these past 4 years, my focus has not been on making money. Rather, it's just been on education and learning as much as I can. So for the first 3 years, I just did strictly paper trading, looking at free online courses, taking online courses, learning as much as I can, looking at options like Forex, crypto, as well as equities. And so now at this point, I started a Robinhood account with my dad. Of course, it's under strict supervision. I make sure that my dad knows all of my trades. I don't take any margin, etc. And what I'm just focusing on is keeping my options open and trying to find my own strategy or trying to find my own interests within the stock market itself. So I've just looked at a lot of technical indicators. I've looked at fundamentals. I've looked at different analysis, different ways of analyzing stocks. And at this moment, I haven't necessarily decided or tried to figure out a certain pattern which I'm interested in. I'm still in the process of, I would say, just being a sponge, taking in as much information as you can and trying to learn the most from that. I currently have, or just started I have a new interest, I would say, in algorithmic trading. So I have a mathematics and computer science background. So I'm fairly proficient in computer science as well as mathematics. And what I have been recently pursuing is looking at algorithms in algorithmic trading. So I currently have, I would say, I have 2 current algorithms, one which is deployed and is currently working, and one which is actually a few weeks behind, but is going to be deployed really soon. And just using all the knowledge, I'm experimenting, trying to find out what I'm into. And yeah, that's currently the short term, I would say, future.
Great. Yeah.
You said the word future there. That trading is the future. I mentioned this last week that several of the traders, and obviously the floor behind us is empty right now, but several of our traders do also code and do algorithmic trading, or sometimes just automated trading. If you're trading, day trading 10 stocks at once, a little bit of automation is certainly going to help. You know what? I love to see the diversification that you have, looking at different names, but I also loved it when you talked about being a sponge. It is all about learning here, Arnav, and I'm just just kind of curious in terms of sort of executing trades right now on your swing entries. What's your process for I want to call it like risk management? Do you have a hard set system with hard stops and entries and exits? Is there anything that you have that's a little bit more discretionary? I'm gonna guess you're a little bit more hard line focused with raw data as part of your entry point. So you really strict in that regard. Do you have a system that sort of triggers you and says, hey, this is where I get in, it comes up and you have an automatic trigger? Or is there anything sort of manual about it?
Yeah, so currently the strategy which I have going is, so first of all, using like stock screeners, right? I find a stock which I think for around a week, I would say, which I think is going to be in an uptrend or has a bullish aspect to it. From there, the strategy which I currently use is that there's either two options or way to trade it. Either the next day you wait for a gap up followed by a pullback, or there's a gap down followed by like a sudden swing. The reason why I look into that is because, first of all, like I guess in the term of risk analysis, I think overall the stock is going to be an uptrend. So if I do make a mistake, or I say don't buy correctly on the pullback, or I don't sell when right at the gap up, I still have time to cover ground in case I do take a loss. Additionally, what I realized is I'm not focused on making, say, as much return as, say, other day traders are. Rather, for me, like 5% a week from a stock is more than enough. So the way I do that is I sell if there's a sudden gap up, then I wait for a pullback. So my hard number is around 5%. So if I see a 5% drop, I suddenly buy it. The range is a little bit of, can be changed a little bit. Like for instance, some companies don't go to that 5%, some go to 3, some go to 4. At which point I look at either technical analysis or I look at candlestick patterns such as the hammer. I think that's a really good way to figure out whether or not there might be a sudden pullback or might be a sudden switch in the trend, etc. One thing which I really am into, which I look into to determine the stocks, apart from like news and earnings, is RSI divergence. I personally think RSI divergence is a really good way of being able to see whether or not there could be a shift in the trend, right? If you see price action and if you see prices going higher, however, the RSI values are going lower, that might be a little bit of a hint that there could be a sudden change, there might be a pullback, etc. I use all of that combined together to see whether or not it's worth looking or worth making a trade.
I absolutely love that system. You're basically showing and kind of giving away a little something we're going to get into a little bit later. We're just noting how articulate you are, and part of that is because I'm never going to get into an argument with you. I know we mentioned when we talked earlier that you have an interesting hobby. I'm going to ask you about that, but we need to get to Brennan. He's got something for us.
Yeah, back on Disney, guys. If you're watching Disney, little spike to the downside there. They just came out saying they're going to close Hong Kong Disneyland temporarily on July 15th because of spiking cases in that area. So Disneyland in Florida opening today. Hong Kong Disneyland going to close on July 15th temporarily again, guys.
Boo.
Yeah, so you just got to break here down below that 10 even on VXRT. So as much as we had that long that was fantastic, it's just sort of breaking back down below. I grabbed some here at 990, so a little bit of slippage into this position, unfortunately for me here, but I did take some off for a quick 10-cent scalp. We'll run the rest into this level here at about 950 to 960. If we can get that big of a retracement, fantastic. I'm noticing Tesla making another push here, and I always have it up just to make sure I don't miss out when it gets that 1800 mark. Like I mentioned, it's a scalp short I'm looking for, and eventually a break through 18. It's never going to give you those prices we talked about this morning, that 1650, which is fantastic. I hinted at it. Obviously, Arnav, you have a very interesting and a very, I would love to say, fantastic approach to trading, very methodical, sort of also very analytical. Does that hobby of yours that I'm going to want you to tell us all about help out with that? You're a big debater, you've told us.
Yes, so I've been debating for quite a few years. I love debate. I love public speaking. I think that there's a very common like misconception, right? That like only lawyers do debate, which I personally, feel like, okay, so is that saying that only normal people talk to large crowds or try to convince other people? So I personally have been a very successful debater, I would say. I finished 9th in the country last year at the Nationals tournament. It's me, thanks to like me and my coach, of course. I think that debate has really helped me. First of all, I would say be able to come to such platforms and be able to talk in front of larger groups. And additionally, it has honestly brought you and made me personally a little bit more aware of current events and issues. And I do see some, I'd say, spillover between what I research in terms of debate to the impact on the stock market, right? I think government issues, political issues most certainly have some impact on the stock market, which is kind of why I think these both work together really well, and why probably perhaps why most of my success, I would say, could be linked to debate.
That's what, like, you know, the secondary point that you made there, sort of keeping you abreast of issues and actually analyzing them and understanding them, that's an important one because, you know, not every trader is going to sit there and care about fundamentals, but you have to be aware of market moving news and how it's going to impact whatever strategy you might have on here. I quickly want to jump back into some trading here. Obviously, the market doesn't sleep. So as I mentioned, VXRT, I was taking that break at 10, then just basically looking at this original breakout price at 1010. That's going to be where my stop is. So shorting in front of it as we add back in some shares at about 997 here, and then trying to work it back down into VWAP. So we're working that trade to the short side. Still have ALT as well, and then jumped into that Pfizer that we mentioned. Now Pfizer obviously was the stock that we liked for the buy break earlier. It's now giving us a pullback into that price at 35.10. So looking for the original breakout price to just hold here, and we'll load up some shares during this sort of lunchtime HFT hour. And as we call it the HFT hour, Arnav, I feel like you're going to be the competition in a few years, right, Sean?
Yeah, and Arnav, I think there's a lot of people on our chat that would be willing to adopt you by the sounds of things here. But thanks for all the insightful knowledge. And look, I agree, man. Like I have an 18-year-old as well, and I think it's so important. He just opened up his first trading account as well, and you can't be my kid and not know, at least listen to me talk all day about trading. And I think one of his first buys was Apple and things like that. Is there anything that you're looking at for a longer-term play? I mean, I can only suggest to you dividend-yielding stocks. You seem to be a smart guy. You know how interest accrues and things like that. Do you have any advice for maybe teenagers in a similar spot to you that are looking to get a little bit of money in and are looking for a couple names here? Tesla may be overbought right now. Maybe that's one of your picks. But give us one or two names that you're looking for, maybe for a 5 or 10 year, something like that type of hold.
Yeah, right. So I think the importance of like financial literacy starting at a young age is really essential. I think if you're starting out, first look at ETFs. I think exchange trade funds are perhaps one of the best things that have happened in the stock market. It's a really good way to start out. I'd say around 50% of my portfolio is just ETFs.
Okay.
Look at how you get dividend ETFs, look at growth ETFs. SPY is really good. Not leverage ETFs. Leverage ETFs are not good for long term. But I would say that that's a really good way to get started. I also think that like looking at Fortune 500 companies or looking at companies which are in mainstream media are a very good way of being able to get started as well, because these blue chip stocks most likely aren't going to end up getting bankrupt or have very severe losses in a matter of days. You could probably almost bet that these companies in the long term will do well. So Apple, Tesla, I think Tesla, I am personally bullish on Tesla. I'm not sure if I would say Tesla is perhaps the best for a starter, but I do think Tesla is a really good trading opportunity. But like Microsoft, mostly tech, I would say. Tech seems to be really, I guess I do have some bias personally because I am personally, I side on the tech sector itself. But I would say that's a really good place to get started.
It's the right bias to have, I do think, and one of the only reasons I actually talk about that lemonade stock is certainly you want to look for transformation in all industries. And if anybody knows anything about the insurance industry, there is a lot of red tape. There is a lot of bureaucracy in terms of getting that entire process automated, making claims easier. I think Lemonade's at least the first company really going down that path. So it's all about trading what you know. You hear that from Warren Buffett all the time. So don't worry about having that type of a bias. Trust me, it's going to be in the right spot there for you. So I love to see that. And the other thing that you mentioned there is when starting out, sort of find plays where you can have the overall market or overall sector like an ETF. And it simplifies things. I think a lot of people find it daunting to find individual names that they love right away. And that's a good place to start in ETFs. I mean, you basically are knocking it out of the park in terms of the process. And I think the thought process is about half the story in terms of learning to start investing and trading. As long as you get the process down, believe me, good trades and profits will certainly come later. I want to get back to something in the market here. I did grab that VXRT. I'm going to go with, I don't know, we'll go with just pile the money because it's the one that happens to be close here. Again, like I said, it's a bit of a scalp trade that we're working here. Retracement through our breakout price. Some of those longs would have been stopped out through that $10 retracement. I'm then going to get more shares here as it tries to pop back up to 1010, and then the work down into VWAP that we mentioned we'd be getting out. So you're getting that 990 to 995 area short. We're getting most of it out for a 20-25 cent scalp. I'm going to hang on to some, see if we get a 950 break, and then get all the way back into that quarter for a bigger trade. But I would anticipate it does look like there's going to be some consolidation at 950 if it gets down there. So I might run into some support, and then we'll take most of it off in front of that 950. But we need to get to Brennan, who has something for us.
Volume alert there, guys, on BNTX to the downside this time. So we were struggling up here at 84.50, held for most of the morning as the high. Just got smacked all the way back down to 81. So just BNTX. We obviously talked about the Pfizer news this morning. Pfizer not really doing anything, but BNTX, big seller, just stepped up, guys.
Maybe it'll do something now that you mentioned it there. And we need to mention it, Arnav, obviously all of our guests that come on this month going into August as well are going to get a Lewis Daniels watch, a fantastic timepiece. So look out for yours. You are going to be getting, we thank them, our sponsor, for giving all of our guests that awesome opportunity. So we talked a little bit about some trading. We've talked a little bit about your process. When it comes to, I would guess, time frames, you've mentioned sort of your process for getting in. Do you have any analysis that you've done that leads you to prefer certain time frames for your swing trade entries? I know some people like to only look for entries maybe in the morning. Other people only like to look for entries in the afternoon. I've actually heard very, very recently that some swing entries have been fantastic in aftermarket trades. Now, you watch us day trading, and a lot of times we're done. Most of our active moves after the first hour or so because of volume. But what has your analysis led you in terms of entries and exits and certain time frames throughout the day?
Right. So for me, I think it's actually less of analysis and more of limitations. So I'm still in high school, right? So now that it's summer, I do get a lot of time. Right? So because it's summer, only because it's summer actually, I can go from 8:30 Central to 10:30, and I can just trade, look at the analysis, etc. However, when school gets started, right, my school starts at about around 9. So I'm not really able to do as much. So as a result, either I have to do the research overnight and make preset trades, or I have to, like you said, I have gotten a little bit into post-market trades. Not as much because I do know that there's less volatility, but I'd say the extreme, right? So either the beginning of the day or the end of the day is when I personally start trading or put my trades. Either way, I think that analysis is really important. So like I make sure that the night before or 2 nights before, I know exactly why I'm trading. And for swing trades personally, the time of day doesn't matter as much for me because I'm not looking for like selling within an hour or selling within 2 hours. Rather for me, it's either 2 days, 3 days, usually I would say maybe 4 to 5 days as well. So that difference does not make as much of an impact to me as it would to say someone like you guys.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense there. So it's going to be more about the price action than anything else. And the important thing there is your system and you thought about it. And look, guys, Arnav didn't know what I was going to ask him, but you're coming out here, and I love the fact that you haven't answered each of those questions. And I mentioned this last week to a trader who said, how do you guys, Sean and yourself, make so many quick decisions here? Most of the time, that's because you've already thought about the process before. So if this goes here, I'm going to be buying. If it goes to that price, I'm going to be selling. And you're just basically reacting to those situations. John, you got a banger over there?
Yeah, I got it's just a new trade alert. And I mean, we got it on, so it must be a banger, right? No, just joking. Okay, right here, guys. Apple long. We talked about going long through 399.50. We have that on right now. It's 25-cent winner here. I'm waiting for this to break through 400 right now. So we'll see if Apple wants to get going through there. But right now, why not? Let's just hit the home run here. It's a good idea. We do have Apple long. It's a 25-cent winner. You could take it off here if you wish, but we're going to wait to see if it goes through. We are going to get a little bit off here ahead of 400, but we're not dropping this anytime soon. I'm going to wait for a 397 break. So let's give this one some room here. Apple looking at 400 in the face right now. Let's see. We're already near the highs of the retracement here, 3220 for the S&P. So let's see if Apple can give a little bit of love here. We do know that they were upgraded intraday by Morgan to 419 or 415 price target. But here we go, guys. Again, I'm sitting somewhere in the 80s or 90s to get scalp out of a little bit, and then we'll see what happens near 400. Wondering about Tesla through 1800 as well, guys.
Yeah, I'm just watching an NIO pullback here, and I'm going to, slap myself with a bit of a fail, and maybe someday, Arnav, you can code something for me, because we were talking about this initial pullback into 1550 the first time down. It actually tests it. It gets a secondary test, and sometimes you have to have an order sitting in front of the sword if you want to catch a move like that, or you need a notification when it tests that price so that you can jump over to the symbol and get that execution in. And it's a big time pullback, but it gives you 60, 70 cents worth of a move. move. Now it's starting to come back in as Tesla also pulls back to 1750 while the market is making fresh highs. So, the next level down I'm looking at on NIO will be about 15 3/4, but Tesla might be even more enticing here around that 1750 mark. So you're seeing some relative, I don't want to say relative weakness because both these names are still up, but pullbacks in both Tesla and NIO as the market is trying to make highs could give us some dip buy opportunities. Of course, you got to know the time of day, guys. I'm all long, believe it or not here. ALT reversed to the long side and still have that Pfizer long, which is turning a little bit sleepy for me, but we love the fact that as the market was continuing to push the highs, we're getting some consolidations on a pullback. So Pfizer in front of 35.10. We'll keep adding to this long if it gets a dip down to 10 again. Otherwise, we're holding out to see if we get back to that 35.50 mark, which is right about that high of the day there, Sean.
Yeah, no, for sure. We are going to be looking at Pfizer. I'm going to try to average into some of this Apple trade as we go. It was really close there, and then it failed. So we'll wait to see on Apple now coming through here, trying to get through 399. That's where it's going to the downside now, but 400 on watch here for Apple.
Oh, I gotta give a call out here. Welcome, Elizabeth Miller, a new member here. If you're watching along, Elizabeth, you are seeing Arnav, and he's gonna get a Lewis Daniels watch for being our guest trader of the day. One thing we have not had enough of, in my humble opinion, is having some female traders be guest trader of the day. So if you're interested in that, just drop us a line. We would love to have you on. And I'm gonna put you on the spot here, Arnav. What's a good reason why someone should be a guest trader of the day outside of the watch, obviously?
Well, I think it's awesome. It's a really awesome opportunity to be a guest trader. First of all, I love the comment section. Everyone's asking questions, really curious stuff. It's really nice seeing like what people have to say. Second of all, I think you can ask personalized questions or talk about your own experiences. And I think the best way to learn more or to be able to, I'd say just learn more, is to be able to talk about your experiences and listen to others as well, right? Most people here are either intermediate or they're perhaps beginners, and we're all looking for different ways to get started or different ways to learn more. I think that being a guest trader allows different perspectives from different parts of the country, if not even the world, to be able to discuss about what they do themselves personally, what they're into. And if you say, for instance, agree with someone or seem to have some similarities, well, congrats, you found someone who you might want to work out with, or like get their Instagram, for instance, or something like that. So I think that the connections is probably really good, and the experiences are invaluable.
Yeah, and you mentioned a little something there, and Arnav, it's entirely your choice. We have guest traders on. Sometimes they're really, really popular, and we get a lot of requests for your social media. Again, I'm not going to sit here and pressure you into it. If you would like to, that is entirely up to you, but we are getting some requests. People would like to be able to reach out to you, maybe follow you along there. So if you wanted to drop that link to us or drop it in the chat, that's entirely up to you. You're getting some positive feedback, I think, to say the least. And we're not paying you for any of those comments, so we want to thank you for the kind words there. I'm going to jump back to the market. I did try that short on ALT, Altimmune here, and then we had the reversal. We talked about that 25.80-ish area here. I got slipped to 87. We are long there. It did give a move into VWAP at 26.50, but you're going to see I'm trying to catch it out in front of 27, this level that you saw earlier today. I think we'll now have this long in front of about 25.50, but Brendan has something for us. What do you got?
WIMI, guys, WIMI just popped up on the downside this time, so sell volume coming in on WIMI. I was talking about the 17 level down here from the pre-market as far as support goes, but watch 19 to 21, little area of congestion as well. 19 to 21, we get below that, might get some downside finally on WIMI, guys.
Why have I not traded this stock all day long? It seems almost like a little ridiculous, although it's had several halts that we managed to miss opportunities on. And again, when you get these halt trades, sometimes they can get a little bit tricky. And we've discussed over and over again how sometimes there's a few too many halts in stocks which have pretty decent liquidity. I think WIMI today is going to fall into that category. I'd be watching for this 2050 area to see if it can hold that price. I think that would be a nice little base of operations in the afternoon. Although this is a time of day where I don't love getting very, very active in some of those stocks. I'm looking at Tesla here. I like the long we got on ALT. Pfizer is a pretty good reload that we have on as well. So I want to make sure we don't overtrade. That's one of the things that can get us into trouble, especially this time of day. And just want to ask, as I sort of have a quick look at Tesla, consolidating here, Arnav, Do you have any sort of special methods or a process that you might work with to ensure that you don't either overtrade, break your rules, or have any of those? I'm guessing it might not be a problem with you, but any of those emotional reactions to negative trades or even positive ones to keep yourself in check. Some people like sticky notes. I like to throw that one out there. You seem like a process-oriented guy. Does that sort of come naturally to you, or do you have to have some reminders for yourself to make sure you stay in the pocket mentally?
I do think that I need to have some reminders. There are definitely red days, which I have quite often, to be honest with you. I do have a very strict stop loss. Well, it's a trailing stop loss, but it's 5%. So if a company all of a sudden drops 5% in a day, etc., sell it. That doesn't mean the stock is not going to be like bullish in the future, etc. It just means for that day and perhaps the next few days, you might want to hold back to that. Additionally, I don't want to have too many stocks which I'm looking at once. That's why I set a limit of around 10. It is flexible. Like sometimes if there's an 11th or 12th company, which I think is just really good, I might add that. However, I try to stick to around 10 a week or so. And during the week, I can remove a company which I think I've lost interest in, or I can replace it with something else. But I think that 10 is a really good number for me, is manageable at least.
I mean, that's what it's all about. And again, it could be any number. You just find what works for you. I know we've had traders that will only look at 2 or 3 at a given time, and everyone has a different level of comfort. As a swing trader, obviously, it's a little bit easier than a day trader to look at a different number of symbols here. One more, I want to just jump back to. We have about a half an hour before the show does end, so there are some stocks that are going to be on my radar that I might not have a trade on right now. I might not put on one in the very, very short term, but I am looking at a bit of a bottom in eCore here. In front of $2, but also this 210 mark, guys. So it's giving you some consolidations, looking like it might round up. And we've talked about this. Some of these high-flying names, some breakout trades or secondary pushes have come in the afternoon session, whether it's at 1:30, 2 o'clock. You want to make sure you have a look at some of these, at least on the way down, especially when they've made bottoms. I'm looking at about a 250 break here on eCore when it does happen. Now, whether or not that's going to be here, whether it's going to be at 1:30, whether it's going to be while I'm eating, which is what Tesla did at 1420, doesn't really matter. I think we'll be locked and loaded with a stop on ECOR through a 250 break. I'm still watching Tesla, not really doing too much of anything. Sideways action here between 1750 and 1760 here, Sean.
Yeah, I hit the air horn here because we do have a new position alertness. JP Morgan, it looks like, again, I put the order at the wrong spot. Normally I like to trade VWAP through, but that's okay. We are long right here, 97.43. Not heavy, pretty light on it, just because it is the time of day right now. So we'll wait. If this breaks through 97, we're not going to hold this one very long. Let's just see if we get a little bit of a run up here in JP Morgan. So flat on that trade right now, and you guys know that we have this Apple trade just hovering around. We're trying to average in if we have to on this one, but not 400 coming into play on that one. Other than that, man, we still have this NIO that we've been holding all day and looking for some new trades. We are short luck in coffee here as well at 1290 on this little short break. So we're going to wait, sorry, 290. We'll wait to see if that takes out 280 right now, but that's what I have on right now, and we're just waiting, slowly getting into this closing period here, 11:33. I love what you said there, Arnav, about waiting for different time frames and time periods. This tends to be a slow one in the market, as you can see, guys.
I got to give a shout out here, and I'm going to find, there it is, James Smith in the chat. I'm going to give you the fireworks because how was I talking about Macy's in this sort of pattern that we were watching all last week? We were talking about support down around 635. We did a couple of nice little buys in this consolidation range at 50s every time it happened. And then it would swing back into 80, 85, where there was sort of a hard top here, also $7. Now that we're at the bottom, the question was, am I going to look for the long? You know what? I had actually forgotten about this. It should have been on my list. It's sitting right here. The only stock on my iPad here where I don't have a level written down. I must have forgotten to get to it or actually had run out of time with too many symbols to look at. But yeah, I like this buy here around 650. We'll pick this one up in front of that 635 area. The same thing we've been looking for. It's going to be a scalp into 75, 80 with the ultimate target. And again, it's more of a day trade here. I mean, from a swing standpoint, it's only going to give you like 5 cents or 5% each time. But I love the liquidity down around this price range. There's somebody defending this price. That's why you see consistent consolidation. It's not going to hold forever. So you want to make sure you have that 635 stop, so when it goes, you're out of that little party. But as long as it's here, you can keep taking advantage of it until it's gone. Even shorting in front of that 685, 7 area, not a bad idea. So let's get involved here on Macy's. At this time of day, it's not a bad place to be using support for entries into longs with relatively tight stops. So why not do that here? And it's to the long side with a strong market anyways. Although Tesla back down to that 1750 mark. It doesn't seem like it wants to go here, guys.
Yeah, Apple is right here, guys. Not sure what we want to do with Apple here, but luck and coffee moving around as well. What up, B?
CETX, guys. Chemtrex just popping up here. Some volume coming into CETX, just above pre-market highs here. This was one from the pre-market, so a gapper in the pre-market. They received a big order for some security equipment that they make, so big product order coming in just now at 11:35, breaking to new highs, guys.
All right. Yeah, just adjusting our stops here, getting out of some of this luck and coffee as it wants to rip back upside against me here. So yeah, that's that trade here. Just looking at Apple, it is near an out zone for me, 398.50. We did cancel our other orders. I don't actually want to get more long this name, so we'll wait to see on Apple. It's coming back down through. We're going to get out at 98.50, guys, on a failed try of 400. What can you do?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to happen. Like, this time of day, you just have to have your outs, and I think that's the right approach. I can't believe we've forgotten our good friend INO here. Man, INO just was such a fantastic stock for so long as a day trade, and I'm having to sit here watching it break out, and it's not necessarily the breakout that's kicking me in the junk here. It's this hold in front of 25 even, sort of that obvious area. It gives the break, and then it pulls back in. Right back to that 25. And sometimes you get these little dip buy opportunities and makes you sick to your stomach as a day trader because there's $1 for you right there. I'm watching 26.30 as the high of day. Much more interested in a retest of 25 even on that INO. It's always worth mentioning. The stock did get to 35 and it's been trying to make a breakout, sort of back towards some of those highs. Now that it's above this 25, this could be it. That's why I like that 25 as a bit of a sort of I don't know, like a swing support level, whatever you want to call it there. And that's why that pullback was so fantastic. So watch out for that level the rest of the week. Hopefully this one can make its run to that 30 level. I'm not sure it gets all the way to 35. A lot of times you'll see the second push to those highs be a little bit more shallow. So I'd look at that 30 to 31 area as possible profit taking for you there, guys. So all I have long is ALT, and I got that Pfizer, which is basically flat. I am still looking for Tesla. That would be very fantastic if you give us a move there. I want to jump back to one name from a little bit earlier that was a mixed result for me, and that was Candy. You got that break at 550. It could never get past that seller at 560. Ends up stopping me out here at 35, so it's a hit for us. I'm actually now thinking about the short trade. We are continuing the move to the downside. The volume, however, is the problem. As much as I like this setup, below 550, you put in a nice little double top. There was a hard seller at that 560 area. It is starting some gap fill to the downside. I don't love the fact that the volume has literally dried up. Look at how tiny this volume action is. It kind of means I don't know how much upside there's going to be to continue this trade throughout the session. So that leads a long-winded way, Arnav, to jumping into a question here for you. How much of a role does something like volume play into your swing trades? Do you need to see volume as a big indicator as for an opportunity coming in? Would you take a play that hits a technical level for you, even if it had depressed volume, relatively speaking, in the short term?
So I would say volume has a really big role at looking at if there is an opportunity for a trend, right? So if a company all of a sudden has like an increased relative volume, say by 2, for instance, I would say that that is probably a good sign that there is some action there. However, I also think that it's also good at looking at maintaining the trade. So, for instance, if we see something in a constant uptrend, however, we don't see the volume going up or at least staying constant as well, I would say that there's a good bet that there's probably showing signs of an exhaustion of the trend or perhaps a sign of a reversal.
Yeah, I think that's what it's all about there. And it's absolutely hilarious. It's like I'm asking you these questions, and normally, I'll be honest with you, you ask a 17-year-old kid, you're expecting to get a blank look, but an answer for absolutely everything. I can tell you right now, Arnav, if you were on our trading floor, you would break the record for the youngest trader that we ever had. We had one high school trader who, believe it or not, started out as a co-op student trainee on our floor and then ended up graduating. Now, he made the smart move and went to school despite the fact that he was profitable, but he did fantastic. I think you have a bright future ahead of you. Our future includes getting to Brendan. He's got something for us.
Nolan. Yeah, what up, Nolan? Hope he's doing well. Off at, or I guess he's finished school now. eCore, guys, we'll move on. eCore, 176% still, but tight level consolidation here, 240 coming into play again. We've come up and tested 240 a number of times. Going to need a little bit of volume to come back into play here, but keep in mind, this thing was a penny stock last week. So huge move. We're above 240 still, but probably some downside, I would say, coming for eCore. 330 times relative volume today, guys.
Yeah, it just crossed 100 million in volume. You said probably some downside. I will agree with you if it can't get above that 250 and hold it. I'm looking for that price to maybe look to start going into a long trade, hopefully in the afternoon if it does one of those moves. Otherwise, you are probably seeing a continuation of a 250 trend, of a trend below that 250 area, and then watch for a break of 210, which I don't love because I think more stops will be at a two even mark. So watch out for that price. I just kind of prefer it. I think one of the things that as a day trader, you're a lot of times you're looking for the counterparty of your trades, and you're asking yourself for some ignition into some volatility moves. You want to make sure that some stops are going to get triggered. Some longs are going to get stopped out. That's a reason to be going into some short trades. You kind of put yourself in the mind of the counterparty to that trade. I only have longs, which is ultimately Altimmune here, flat for me. I did get into that Macy's trade we just talked about, so I want to give a shout out and thanks to our trading community for reminding me of a call we had last week in front of that 635 area. It's kind of one of an easier structured trade when you can do this, and it'll be a sleepy one. I will probably be in this one for the greater part of the afternoon. We'll tweet it out as it does go here or doesn't go. Maybe it breaks 635 at some point. Any kind of a key support eventually is going to break. That's one thing I like to preach. If you're using the same level over and over again, the odds are that eventually your last trade is going to be a loser. Sometimes that means you're more picky about your entry price, so you risk less, or you simply take less size. I think it's a good idea to reflect that way. More people will see the pattern as it does emerge over and over. Arnav, have you ever found that with any of your trades where you get something which is a nice entry point or a good level into a swing, and then the second time you see it, you're like, I don't know if I like it as much?
Yeah, that happens quite a bit. That's why the way I look at it, right, is from the 10 stocks. Out of the 10 stocks, 5 of them have the entry position, or the I don't know how to phrase it, but it meets the conditions for me to say buy it, for instance. Out of those 5 stocks, I only would expect 2 to 3 actually being successful. Usually the other 2 are going to either just all of a sudden drop or something's going to happen which I didn't expect. And I think that's just a part of trading. You should be able to not necessarily foresee, but you should be able to assume that you're not going to be perfect, and look at risk management and look at ways at trying to be able to balance that. That's why I personally strive for just having a positive ratio, that I have more winning trades than losing trades every week. That lets me know that I'm doing the right thing and that I'm on the right track.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's absolutely what it's all about. This is exactly why you deserve to get that watch. I mean, you saw the sponsor there, Lewis Daniels watches, so obviously you're going to be getting one of those, Arnav, but losing is basically the price of admission when it comes to trading, and once you acknowledge that it's going to happen to you, it's more about controlling those losses, making sure those winners are bigger. Right now, I got only one losing trade on. That's going to be ALT here. We'll give it to, like I said, about 25.50 or so, but so far Macy's and Pfizer still holding in the money for us, and we'll get to mRNA in just a quick little bit here. But I know, Sean, I hear a lot of keys over there, but my question to you is, it's 11:40, and we haven't had any kind of a fruit salad update.
No, I did hit the fruit salad earlier, but we will.
Oh, I must have missed. My bad.
Well, we'll do that again. No, we did get. I was just looking at a few things here. We actually did make this bottom wick here on JP Morgan. Unfortunately, it does break down, and then my out was 94, guys. It went as low as 94, and then we got out of 80% of our position, and now it's ripping back to the upside here. Pretty light now. We did talk about that. I'll let you know, guys, when the big stick is out. You don't have to worry about that one. Right now, it's not. We'll be yielding this one. Ooh, wearing the same shirt today as we were then. Bang. But today's been a good little banger for us. Needless to say, we have lots of trades on, but we do like to celebrate, not celebrate, but mention our losers as we do our winners as well. And there's one loser there on JP Morgan, and here's another one. We did try Apple. This did go in the money, 60, 70 cents, but that wasn't the play. The play was waiting for this 400 break and thought we could maybe catch it a bit earlier, then catch it again on the break. But now Apple fades back down, and we did get out at 398.50, which is right here. So I just would want to give you guys an update for that one. 11:43. Did I hear that we have Brendan? No, we did not. So coming up next, guys, we always do have market wisdom, and I know, Arnav, you probably are a fan of this page. I hope, fingers crossed. Shakeouts right here. Neil's been talking about this today. This is a very, very big popular video for us. We're hoping hasn't been released yet. Checked it out at 11:55. That's in 10 minutes. How do you sort of avoid some of those shakeouts? So we have been talking about that, and definitely make sure you check out our market wisdom page. And if you're not, Arnav has dropped his social media as well. And here's mine at Trader TV Sean. So make sure you're following me if you want to see some of these plays here that we've been doing today. Almost 4,500 followers. So I'm coming after some of the big boys. Let's see if we can't get there on that name, guys.
Yeah, I'm just checking out. I know Marcus, one of our longtime watchers and member there, Marcus Day. So I was looking at that MVIS, just going to check it out a little bit. It is a bit of a volume spike. You are seeing just going to the higher time frame here. It is making a push through to some fresh highs. You're mentioning some speculation in terms of a deal. I actually haven't seen anything. Going to get that news from Brendan when we do get it. But it is up 10%. You are seeing it hold some volume to the upside. So watch out for MVIS. Add it to the list. We're only about 15 minutes to go, guys. I do want to reiterate that we, as much as you might see us slow down, it's a time of day thing in terms of actual active trading. It's important to ensure that you have a plan going into the afternoon. The market's not closed, guys. We're going to continue to trade. So one of the names which we had a lot of success on, and you can see the board at the bottom, was Tesla. I've gotten away from it. I was looking to see if we would have actually maybe broken 1,700. I wanted badly if we ever got 1650s. It's not going to happen. But I am going to be taking that 1,800 short if it ever gets there. Inside this consolidation, that's not a trade that I like. You're watching 1,750 to about 1,780. I'm not going to be involved in that price range. It's going to be a test of 1,700 to 1,720. Maybe you pick up along there, or you get that scalp short in front of 1,800. And again, if you're short selling as a day trader or a swing trader, a name like Tesla, have a heart out. Have a plan, otherwise you get into a world of hurt if you're just sitting there hoping and praying that Tesla comes back. But for me, if 1,800 breaks, I'll be out. I got a couple of orders here, so I'm not going to miss it. I actually have a stop order as well. So it's going to be hands-on. I don't have to do anything for that short trade. It'll pop in at some point. I'll have a stop covering it. I do have a target back into the top end of this range, 1775. And the reason I'm only looking for 20 to 25 bucks is the first time, great. The second time it tests 1,800, I don't expect it will be as big of a dip to the downside. So more of a scalp trade that we'll take, but watch out for that 1,800 break. That could be gangbusters if it happens this afternoon. Brendan, what do you got?
Yeah, it looks like that MVIS, guys, a little bit of a sympathy play on the WIMI space. So they're in the same kind of 3D laser beam technology world when it comes to holographic type technology. So MVIS, not seeing anything in the way of buyout rumors or anything. If you remember just a couple of weeks back, they had, yeah, there goes Valeria. That means probably 1,000 likes. Awesome, guys. Hit the like and subscribe. Make sure you hit subscribe as well. Yeah, Microvision, a week or so ago, they had a letter from the NASDAQ on minimum bid requirements. So they had a delisting warning from the NASDAQ on minimum bid requirement. But in that same kind of world as WIMI, guys.
There you go. We always try not to trade blind, and this is one of those things that's there. Like, I would rather miss out on a break or a fantastic trading opportunity because I was completely unwilling to make a blind bet there. So always good to make sure you get that news. I want to get back to this ALT. You are starting to see it had a failure through this 2650. That also happens to be VWAP. So we do have to watch this trade. And again, I'm not risking a heck of a lot. We did try a long here that didn't work. We tried a short that didn't work. And I got an 0 for 2 read on this. So I feel like if this long reversal doesn't work, I'm probably going to step away from ALT at least through lunchtime. But we're giving it to about 25 half to see if we can break out through VWAP. The market is starting to come back in, so that's one of 3 longs we have. I'm just going to quickly go over the other 2 for you. Macy's. Talked about the structure of this trade last week, and I do like this swing. It's not likely to do too much in front of the 635. We'll maybe add to some if we can get a better price down at 45 or 46, which is the low of the day. Otherwise, you're looking to break through 60, take some out in front of 75, work it all the way to 680, where it tends to go almost every single day. Macy's been a great trade all of the last week and a half. You know, 635 bottom, 685 to 7 even top. We're just playing inside of that range. And the last one, Pfizer, great trade, our second best trade this morning, but we're now back into it in front of 35.10, long here at 35.26. It's all about the process, guys, and for me, at this time of day, you just want to make sure you have the good trades on with good levels that you're working off of and not over trading. I can't really stress that one enough. I want to thank Arnav a million times over here for being a fantastic guest. Just a more of a personal question here. When you talk about trading and getting involved in the market at your age, I'm just sort of curious, sort of among your friends in high school, are you the only one that's actually looking at the market right now, or with all the extra interest and with COVID and all the crazy moves? Have you seen a spike in interest among youth when it comes to at least understanding the market? I know here at least, we've talked about this, not enough financial literacy, I think, when it comes to high school in terms of teaching it. What's your thoughts in terms of sort of your peers and interest in the market?
Yeah, so I completely agree. There has been some interest in my school just because of me like talking to my friends here and there, trying to remind them like there's something called investing, etc. But I do think that there is a lack of financial financial literacy within high schools as well as colleges, and it's really important that we start educating young adults to start investing. I think the very common misconception is that only day traders and swing traders and people who trade for a living invest. I think that's what I've heard the most, and I sought to change that, which is why I started teaching my fellow peers as well as other college students and young adults about basics of investing, such as like what are types of stocks, etc. And what I'm focusing on, or what I'm trying to do, is hopefully try to just spread it around and try to help people realize that passive income is an alternative to income. It's a way of being able to provide for your family, provide for you, even if something catastrophic, say for instance this COVID pandemic, were to happen again, God forbid, of course. But I think that becoming knowledgeable about financial literacy is invaluable, and I would say is as fundamental as English classes, science classes, history classes, and so I think that we should be increasing importance of financial literacy within young adults.
Bang, bang. I love these. I mean, you're knocking it out of the park for us there. Maybe more important than English and history. I don't know, but that's just my bias, personal bias coming in there. And obviously, Sean and I have been in this game quite some time. I'm not going to give you the years because it's kind of depressing. Like, you know what? Let's just say it. Sean and I have been trading longer than you've been on this earth, which is both humbling in terms of your knowledge, which is impressing me here, but also it's worth stating that it doesn't matter your level of experience. You can never start too soon. You've mentioned it there. Some of your peers that I think you're actually teaching and getting into it. I think that's fantastic. That's one of the reasons why we're building this community. And when it comes to the community, that's why we encourage people, look, hit that subscribe. I think that one of the number one things, and you're seeing it here with Arnav, is we have a wealth of traders that are starting out or have a tremendous amount of experience, or just maybe been around half as long as we have, or make lots of winning trades, or maybe don't have any, might be paper trading. We can all learn something from each other. That's what we try to stress here. So make sure you hit that subscribe if you want to be a part of this channel. This is what it's all about, guys, and we do absolutely love it when we get guests like this, which give us a different perspective. And the crazy thing is we've had you on for almost a full hour here, and I feel like we haven't really dipped into the automated trading and the algorithmic trading that much with you. So if we ever get you on again, I feel like that's a topic we should jump in. I'm just going to throw it out here. I'm going to put someone on the spot who may or may not be watching, but we have a bit of an algo trader who was one of my mentors when we started out, and I feel like I would love to see you have a debate with one of our head algo traders here. So I'm giving the call out here. Saj, Arnav is coming for you. He is the future. You're washed up, buddy. I love you, Saj, but he's one of our guys here on the floor, but I feel like you're the future here. Would you agree, Sean?
No, if Saj is the present, then we're in trouble. Let's just keep going there. But yeah, no, look, it's been great to have you, and I think a better debate would be my kid versus you. And I'm not biased, but you are the champion. But my kid also debates quite well, and he's off to university this year.
Great choice, by the way.
So congratulations to everybody and everybody young. And I agree, man. Financial literacy, Arnav. History, great. That happened in the past. Wow, great. That's so important. But now you're seeing financial literacy is going to make you money. And like you said there, passive income, main income, whatever you want. I think it's so important that everybody understands not even just stock market stuff, but how to manage your day-to-day bills, why you shouldn't be overloading your credit card, things like that. I mean, I think that's very, very important as well. Not just stock market, but just household finances. I mean, take care of your family and yourself first, and don't get yourself in trouble. And I did love, Arnav, one of the things that you mentioned there at the beginning was the fact that no margin accounts, and I think that's really wise for beginning traders. Paper trade things until you're comfortable, then put the money in there. You don't need a margin account blowing up and then all of a sudden one big loser and you shutting your account down. That doesn't make much sense to me at all. But yeah, thank you for the big show today. You've been such a special guest trader, and I'll personally welcome you back on at any time. So you know how to get a hold of us. You are welcome to come back on, my friend. Okay, Virgin Galactic here to the upside, $20. It's bounced off there a couple times. I've been pounding the pavement or the table, whatever this is, on Virgin Galactic since down here. This was a very beautiful setup, in my opinion. Some consolidation off a runner that we know can go. So that's been a big one. I've put on some options trades on this one as well for, on my own account, not here. We only trade equities. But look, guys, only 5 minutes left. We are about to release the video. So coming up right now, if it's not already, there it is. Valeria gives me the heads up and the thumbs up. We've already released it. So there it is, shakeouts, guys. Coming up, hit that link if you want to know more about it. Arnav, I assume you've checked out our Market Wisdom page.
Of course, I watch almost all of the videos. It's a really great way of learning, and so I definitely watch them, yeah.
Good. Yeah, we
That's
like
awesome.
that one. Shakeout's
awesome
important.
I just want to give a quick shout out. We just got a super chat from STFU. We love it when you come in there, and I think that's great news. I think Kevin Hart's pretty funny here, but he's starting a family financial fitness program for inner city families. That's pretty cool. Like you've said there, Sean, and like Arnav, you said, and we've all talked about this. You can never start too soon. Whether it's going to be day trading, swing trading, long-term investing, it's a good thing to understand the financial markets, how they can benefit you certainly, and earning a passive income is just a sort of a ancillary benefit that you can have. So this is what it's all about, guys. And welcome another member of their Wheelhouse. So we enjoy it. If you guys want to jump in, we enjoy it when you guys become members. Make sure you also hit that subscribe. I think I can't say this enough as we're about to drop that video, get into the end of the show. A lot of the fun happens right at 9 o'clock in the morning when we go over some of the stocks that we're watching, a lot of the levels that we're watching. That's where we got that Pfizer breakout trade. And I mentioned why I like 35.10 instead of 35 on a breakout. A lot of times you get lazy and pick that round number, but there was a significant level at 35.10. And the difference was, if you took this 35 break, you get wicked in, maybe you get out on this retracement. Maybe you hold it through, fair enough. But the 35.10 that we identified was a clean move to the upside. It never really went against you at any point. So that's sometimes why you want to get that preparation in. It's just that little extra bit of work that we're putting in, that all traders do, to ensure that they have quality executions and a high probability of success, because not every trade's going to win. So you want to stack the deck in your favor. But when we are ready, I do believe it is that time to move on, not just yet. We'll be getting to Brendan to get a little bit of earnings. It's going to be a big one. And you mentioned something, Arnav, at the beginning of the show, that you were looking at some names because we're heading into earnings season. Do you find that is this a heavy strategy for you, putting on trades going into earnings, then sort of obviously taking them off right before? Do you ever hold through earnings when you're doing equity trades?
Right. So I look at companies before earnings because I'm not personally an options trader. However, I do know about implied volatility, and most stocks do have increasing implied volatility right before earnings, not after. So I do look at earnings as a possible chance of having rapid swings, which I could just swing trade for a period of a day or two, etc. I think that is a very good strategy personally. If you're looking at a company which is fairly reputable and does seem to be having or will have really good earnings for the previous quarter, it might be a very good bet to just look at earnings itself and do a little bit more analysis, of course. But that's a really good catalyst to have change.
Yeah, very, very interesting. I will just throw it out there as we see our sponsor one more time that, look, it's obviously a risky thing to hold through earnings. You have to really know what you're doing there. And I also feel like, I'm not saying, obviously you do a good job of going step by step through your process of trading in your journey, but I think trading options is probably in your future with your analytic nature. We just mentioned earnings. That means it's time to see what earnings are coming up. Let's go to Brendan at the desk.
Yeah, it's about that time. A few minutes ago here, guys, man, I was just seeing Wynn, again, day highs for Wynn, so those hotels still strong. But yeah, let's have a look at what's coming up as far as earnings concerned. Guys, we talked about it earlier in the show. We're into some pretty heavy-duty bank earnings coming up tomorrow. Citigroup, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, guys, all out before the open tomorrow. So yeah, lots to look at coming up tomorrow morning.
Thanks, your boy, for those ones. Neil and I will be all over the banking names and WFC. Woohoo! We like that one. Could be a big report. There was talks about them getting swooped up there by Goldman not too long ago. So we'll wait to see, not their whole company, but some of their books and whatnot. So we'll wait to see that. And JP Morgan, we're currently in that stock right now with a 5-cent loser. So JP Morgan long right now, 97.42 off that bad flush out. But should be fun day tomorrow for sure, Neil.
Yeah, 100%. We also have some of those coming the rest of the week. It's not just tomorrow. You do have other financials. I think Goldman's going to be later on in the week. So it is going to be big in that space. I actually found myself not making a trade there at all in any of the financials. We'll see if we can rectify that possibly in Wells Fargo or JPM tomorrow. But there's one more thing that we have to get to. And of course, we're going to get your opinion on this as well, Arnav. But
it better not be candy.
Going over to, it better not be candy. Going to Valeria for what national day it is today.
Thank you, Neil, and hello, Arnav. Thank you very much for joining us today. We really love to see that our viewers are so intelligent and passionate about day trading. Guys, we would love you to join us also. Please send your request at marketing@tradertv.live to Trade Talk Live and of course to receive beautiful free watch. Well guys, thank you very much for all the support, for 1K likes and for becoming a member. We really appreciate your support. Welcome to the family. And as usual, I'm saying what national day is today, so happy French fries day, everyone. Whee!
That's good. Arnav, do you know what a poutine is?
I've heard of it, but I'm not familiar with it. No.
Well, you got to come over here to Canada. It's fries, gravy, cheese curds on top, and that's a thumbs up. Not good for you, but that's the. I just thought about that with French fries. But are you a with gravy guy or without gravy guy?
I do like gravy. My mom makes really good gravy, so I do like with gravy.
Shout out to the moms of the world.
You've
the moms
got
make
to.
the best everything. What up, Neil?
Look, man, I'm actually looking at that picture and kind of interested in the burger that's sitting behind those French fries. But either way, like you can count me in. But I really do want like fresh cut, like sometimes even homemade are the best to go.
Yeah,
Other than some of those like I don't like the frozen fries or a lot of those cheap brands. It's all about the quality. I'm pretty sure, Brendan, you're probably along those same lines.
I gotta go sweet potato. Sweet potato fries, guys.
What a surprise. Brandon's got to do something different than
Obviously.
everybody else here.
Obviously.
You know, haircuts every day, sharp dresser, sweet potatoes.
Also, yeah, show my screen, Robbie, if
Oh,
you
God,
can.
here we go. What's
Yes.
this?
There we go. November 4th, guys. Candy Day. Official Candy Day.
Okay.
Oh, there
We're
is
going to be
one.
locked and loaded for that coming up very, very soon. Official Candy Day. Oh, you just spoiled our website there. But yeah, Candy Day coming on. Look, it's been a great show. I want to thank our special guest, but I'm not going to do that because this is Neil's role. Thank you, everybody. Join us tomorrow. But Neil, let's end this.
Oh, you could have done it for me there. But honestly, I got to thank you, Arnav, doing a fantastic job. It's been a pleasure to have you on. I think you're a credit to your generation, to be quite frankly, getting in early in the process. Any final words before we wrap this one up?
I'd just love to say thank you guys for this opportunity. What you guys are doing is great. It's unique. Keep on going. Yeah, thank you guys so much for this. I don't get a lot of chances myself being under 18, but this was awesome, and I really appreciate this.
Thank you for the kind words, and enjoy your Lewis Daniels watch for
Yes.
being a guest on our show. And anybody that wants to be one as well for the rest of this month, and you come on next month, you'll get a free Lewis Daniels watch. Of course, there's plenty of other reasons why it's a benefit for you to come on here, and Arnav's been a fantastic guest in demonstrating those. But it is that time of day. Got to go down the line. Thank you very much, Valeria, for everything, including making me hungry with those fries. There's the heart down the line there, my good friend Sean Katina. Doing pretty well with the water, though.
Actually, I'm at the I'm at like the 11 a.m. range here. So yeah, 11.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I got. Come on! It says. Let's
Come
go.
on, son.
Let's go, son.
Drink that. It's all about our good friend Brendan wearing the salmon shirt. Some people have called it Brendan looking naked, but either way,
Salmon.
the nice looking salmon
doesn't
shirt
look
over there,
naked. Come
looking
on.
dapper. I saw it on the chat, and as always, guys, I'm Neil Roberts. There it is, the Brendan Goat. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live, and we will see you tomorrow.
Oh,
Thanks, Arnav.
Brendan.